happened here, man? What is going on? Hey, y'all. Word. Hey, cuz, remember, though, if you end up talking, pull that bad boy up to you. All right? Yeah.
Welcome.
What up, guys? Sorry, we were doing a little pregame pour, and Courtney got in over her head a little bit
Took
there.
a little too much. That was a little too much for my mouth. So.
Oh, she took a little too much for her mouth.
Welcome. We're glad you all are here.
Glad to have you guys here. And we got a bunch of legends already in the chat. I'm going to start the show, of course, with the chapstick.
Oh, the chapstick, y'all.
With my number one overall, the marshmallow. Oh, amazing chapstick.
Weirdo.
I am Jay. This is my wife, Courtney. We've been together 75 years. You can't really tell that.
No.
Really, we've been together 31.
Correct.
Married 25. We are joined again. He has been gracious enough to share his time with us with Cuz from across the street. He is not pictured, but he is here, cousin.
Welcome all.
Cousin.
Welcome.
It is awesome to see you here, cousin. You have, well, when we were testing before the show, we weren't sure that you would say Maddie from the well again. There's a little bit of an echo there, but you can pull that bad boy out and just hold it up if you want to. It won't make a noise. You're good. Attaboy. You don't have to be gentle with it.
Sometimes it's best just to be rough and
just say what's up,
get it
cuz.
handled.
What's up?
Hey, there he is. What a stud. Raven says hair game is on point tonight.
Nice.
Raven, it means a lot coming from you,
Yes.
bro, because he's got a nice head of hair too.
Yes, he does.
He's part of the nice head of hair crew. By the way, I tried to shave my side part here by myself
Oh,
today.
no. I told you don't do it by yourself.
Well, I couldn't get you to help me.
I wasn't home. I was working.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Okay.
So let's see. We are doing Old Forester tonight.
Yes, we are.
And we have a
mini.
array over here, and there's actually another bottle not pictured. So we have the Old Forester Prohibition style, which, as you noted before the show, the last time you drank that, you got fucked up.
Yeah, the picture that Knuman has of me is after I had way too many of these.
Yes, we can go to that picture.
No, we don't need to.
Oh, no.
We don't need to go there right now.
No, we can.
No, it's way too early to show that picture.
There it is.
Jay.
There's Courtney after some Prohibition style.
Not
last time.
some Prohibition style. I was going shot for shot with my staff, and they were determined to make sure I got drunk. So it worked. It worked.
The Dirty Dozen are already here, as Knuman noted earlier, including our friend
Yes.
Jeff is here with us tonight again.
Nice.
Raven with us as usual. We love Raven. Knuman, as often is the case. We love Knuman. Cleveland Brown here as well. We've got a lot of legends. Call me
Wow.
Biscuit, who comes in from
Look
a
at
long way
that.
away. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, Cuz, who's here on the couch with us tonight. Well, we're not on the couch, but he's on our, whatever. He's over
He's
there.
on the couch.
Also, Corey W., one of our Montgomery legends, husband of Tori W.
That's right.
I don't want to say her last name. He says Evening Blenders tips are on point tonight, Jay. Gee.
So what are we going to talk about tonight, Jen?
We're going to talk about we got a lot of stuff to talk about as we have our agenda or our syllabus that goes across the bottom down here. But we're going to talk about Old Forester, specifically the Prohib style, but then we're going to branch out into some other stuff that seemed to beat your ass earlier when you were taking a sip
I
of
was
it.
a little surprised by it.
Then we're going to compare and contrast that with some different expressions. We've got barrel-proof single barrel. We have a 100-proof single barrel. We actually have two different 100-proof single barrels.
Yes, we do.
And then you've got your birthday bourbon there that you probably aren't going to open tonight.
Not opening this. This is just for visual.
But I can see over here, down there on the birthday bourbon, you can see George, a picture of George Garvin Brown.
There he is.
Of Brown.
It's his birthday bourbon.
Of Brown Foreman. Yeah.
Yes.
So lots of fun stuff going on tonight. Knuman says, is next week a tequila show from Mexico?
I don't know that we want that on the air. That might be very...
That's not a terrible idea,
surprising.
actually. Tori W., last name redacted to protect her anonymity,
Nice.
is here as
Tori.
well. Says, what's up, friends? Everyone be safe with the later storms tonight. We have had some storms
I
go through
know.
here.
It's been a little messy.
We lost a cushion off of our couch in the backyard today.
It took flight, and I don't know where it is, but just another reason to get some new ones.
And Cousin Becky had a large potted
Planner.
like tree, I guess, almost like a small tree.
A little bush that we had in a large pot on the front steps that got blown over. Yeah, it was almost out in the middle of the road when I got home today. So
We're going to rebuild.
We are going to rebuild in Hampstead. We're going to be fine, but it has been kind of rough. Let's see. Leif, one of our friends from the Ole Miss site, who's an absolute legend, married to an Arkansas girl, says, what's up, y'all? Been working all week and getting a brand new distillery online in a small town called Beaver Dam, Kentucky.
Where is Beaver Dam here, Leif? I'm interested to know. I do not know.
Rarely do people talk about Beaver Dam, but oftentimes they talk about Dam Beaver.
Thanks, Jay.
I could use that in a sentence if you'd like.
No, we don't necessarily need that used in a sentence. We're not having a spelling bee.
Yeah, we're going to do it in a sentence. You ready? I haven't even been drinking tonight either.
Great.
No, Chris, I do have my priorities straight. It was all about the Dam Beaver. Did I use it in a sentence correctly?
Correct.
I did.
Except it's Beaver Dam.
Thank you.
Facts. I'm a fact checker.
This is going great. Becky is usually our fact checker, and she is on
She's
special
busy.
assignment tonight. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Becky to check our facts, but.
So, you
By the
are
way,
having.
what did you pour to start with here?
I poured this.
Okay, so this is the Old Forester single barrel proof. We got this from our friend Justin Owens, who sold us this. It's a pick from the Montgomery Country Club. Did a pick about a year and a half ago. A guy named Xavier was behind that thing as well, because that guy's an absolute stud, by the way. 128.3 proof. It is a little hot. I
Maybe
will
that's
say that,
why,
but I taste a lot of banana on that one. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to drink the Prohib style tonight, right, Miss Courtney?
Well,
Would
we're
you
going to
agree with
drink
that?
all of it because
Oh.
that would only be the right thing to do. So,
All
yes,
the bourbons.
we might as well just go ahead and have another of this because I bet it's going to be better for me now that I didn't realize it was 128 proof as my first hit for the night.
I don't think it's that hot. Cuz,
So,
would you like
let's
a
see.
pour of this hot ass stuff?
I'll take a share of that.
Atta boy. I mean, you know, we share. That's what we do at the taste. Actually,
Sharing
the
is
Hainses
caring.
are very. They also have.
I do not taste bananas.
One of my favorite things about the Hainses is that they are very sharing with their brown water.
Yes.
You know, a lot of times people get these
good
bottles
friends.
and they don't. They're like, I don't know, I'm not going to open it. Because it's like, I'm open. Bourbon
Yeah, that
is
one's
here.
got a nice deep Kentucky hug.
I don't.
You don't feel it?
I mean, I do. It's there for
I
sure,
got
but
a deep Kentucky hug on that.
I don't feel like it
I do
absolutely
not
knocks
taste
you out.
bananas. I taste. I can't tell what I taste. I guess I'll need another hit to figure out what
Is
I'm
it-
tasting.
Is it creme brulee?
No, it's not creme brulee. I have
good.
I'll have to have another hit to find out what it
So
was.
that's what we're going to start with. Is this
Yes.
Blue Label Old Forester. These are again these. I think every one that you find, if you do find some, I don't even know if you would
Need some
find
more?
this on a shelf too often. They're going to be pretty different, I think.
Yeah, this one.
They're going to vary a little bit more from bottle to bottle, which is cool. I mean, if you're into trying different stuff, if you're the kind of guy like me who buys some Armida barrel just to see what pear or sherry tastes like,
Let's see
I
here.
love doing that. And I had some the other day. Courtney's going back in on the 126. Yeah, it's 128, excuse me. I just taste bananas out the booty on that one. Let's see what.
Really?
I'm curious to see what Cousin tastes on that one. Cousin's got a good palate.
I taste red hots.
Oh, so like cinnamony.
Cinnamony.
All right.
Cinnamony.
Cinnamon-
Cinnamony.
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 Like B says things are going pretty good. I mean, I text you. Okay, yeah. Ted Lasso ended. Spoiler alert. We haven't finished it, so we got still stuff
Don't
to
tell
see.
us we haven't finished.
JM says, hey, Leif, how pie? He says, Beaver Dam is in Ohio County, real close to Rosine, Kentucky, which is where Bill Monroe is from.
Okay, that didn't.
Who
I'm
is
from
Bill Monroe?
Kentucky, and that still didn't clear anything
I don't
up
know. I
for me.
think I've seen Ohio County on a plate, but I don't know where that's at.
Well, that's the problem in Kentucky. There's 120 counties, so the counties are significantly smaller than the Alabama counties.
Hey, Brandon H., who goes by AU Taxman on the board. Look at that. Look at his avatar. It's awesome.
Okay, all right, y'all just charmers, aren't they?
Love it.
But-
So he's drinking Murray Hill tonight, which is a bourbon that really left me disappointed. It gave me blue balls big time because
yeah.
it is a Magnus blend,
It also says
but I just didn't.
I didn't care for it either.
I didn't care for it. And I thought
I was
it was
very
just,
excited because we really liked Magnus the first time we had it, and then after other pours I liked it, but I'd like to go back. We should taste that again. I haven't had a taste of that in a bit.
to the actual Magnus.
The actual Magnus.
Yeah,
I haven't
we
had
like-
that in a bit because
we like that.
was our first one that we tasted in Kentucky at a tasting bar, a tasting bar inside of the liquor barn. And I was like, this is amazing. And I think it was like $120 a bottle. And we were like, I don't know if I could
don't know,
spend
man.
that
I
on a
don't know.
bottle. And now, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, that's kind of how we do it. Right?
But it was delicious. I have not had it in a while. So we still have some at the house?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we need to have some of that.
We might have some here.
No, it's not.
I was looking at the house earlier today. Our liquor cabinet's like half full, and
That's
I go,
because it's all right here.
"Have we really been drinking that much?" But no,
It's all right here.
It's here at the studio.
That's good though.
The studio.
Well, actually, it's not good because then you see there's more room, so you're like, I need to go buy more.
Okay, Leif says FFS. Bill Monroe invented bluegrass music.
Oh,
I should
well,
have
I
known
don't.
that.
I would not have known that because I don't.
Halfway
particularly
between
care for that.
Owensboro and Bowling Green,
Oh, wow, that's in the middle of nowhere.
says a girl from Louisville. Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah. Owensboro and, yeah. that's
George
not-
M in the house says, I love the 1920, which we are going to
okay.
drink here as soon as Courtney takes the time to open it.
Well, I need to, I'm sorry, let me bottoms up this.
Oh, this happened
still
last week,
sounds like,
too.
I said, this still feels like Red Hots to me. What do you get on it, cuz?
I can see a little what Jay was talking about, a little Bananas Foster-esque. Really? Yeah, there's a little cream kind of flavor into it. I do get a little bit of the baking spices there that you're referencing.
Word. Got a message coming through from our friend Jason M, who
Aw. Hey, Jason.
may be watching the show remotely.
I saw they were playing golf today.
He sent a picture over of him and his outstanding wife, Emily, who's certainly
She's
in my
superstar.
she's in my top 20 of all time people we've ever met. Jason's certainly in that conversation as well.
Oh, this
Also, a great
is
thing
growing
about
on me,
Jason.
but I don't taste cinnamon now. I almost
You taste-
tasted smoky now.
You like smoky. You put some smoky lotion on this morning, didn't
I did
you?
accidentally. I bought the Bath and Body Works smoked old-fashioned lotion for Jay. And I accidentally picked it up this morning in the dark
It was
and
dark,
started
yeah.
lathering myself up with it. And I was like, smells kind of manly. But, you know, hey.
You really like
It was lotion.
You love the idea of like a campfire smoky.
Oh, yes.
I know, get you a little
I love a
Randy. I don't
campfire
know
smoke.
if I ever needed that. I don't really need that. Hey, are you going to open the Pro Hip style or not? Me and George really want to hit this.
It's open. Help yourself, sir.
I thought you were the pourer.
Well, you have two hands.
Chris, did you hear that?
And while it's open, you can pour me one. Please. Please and thank you.
Unbelievable, man.
Please and thank you.
Cousin.
All right.
Are you just going to continue?
Oh, this reminds me of regret.
Are you just going to...
It smells of regret.
You smell
I smell breadsticks.
half-eaten breadsticks?
I smell chicken scampi. Here, pass that bottle back here.
Let's see. This one?
Yeah.
Ryan says, enjoyed hanging with y'all at Chip Chip's OB Throwdown.
Yes,
Tony Finn
that
here.
was so
What up, brother?
fun.
Tony, you dropped your camera at one point. And I was really scared for the camera.
That was a really nice camera.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, you had some great photographer poses yourself of taking pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He knew what he was
a
doing for sure.
professional.
What up, good dude? It's good to see you. Ravin says, just grabbed a pour of Old Forester 1897 BIB.
Oh,
That sounds good. Bo is Great is here, not known as Boise. Some people call him Boise, but it's Bo is Great. Bo is a fellow member of the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity, so I say Phi Phi K to you, brother. Courtney, very familiar with the Pikes.
yes.
Spent a lot of time.
I got to wear those letters because we were an official item.
Ryan S., who is an absolute stud. This guy played at Auburn. He hung out with us at one of our very first events that we did in Huntsville. Now he lives in Nashville because the guy's such a badass. He's moving up. Stopped in Owensboro last weekend on the way back to Nashville. Definitely the middle of nowhere. Though Owensboro's not. She was saying between Owensboro and Green.
Wait,
Bowling
stopped
Green.
in Owensboro on your way back to Nashville. Did you get lost? Because that's not a normal route.
Yeah, you could do that if you were coming from like Chicago
Yeah.
or Kankakee.
On my way back. Oh, he lives in. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I'm like thinking, hang on a minute.
Anyway, Ryan's a stud. But I bet that little baby that Ryan had at the event is now like a cognitive human being. It's been a while. Brandon H. says 1920 is so good. And Ravin said you didn't look happy with the
Because you
pour.
want a little hit? Are you ready for it?
I'm good right now.
Okay. Well, don't you worry. When you're ready, you let us know.
Ravin thought that maybe the pour I gave you was a little thin.
I know. He doesn't know how to pour. Like, this should be half full.
You remember last week when Courtney was like, hey,
Glug, 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 glug,
I'm
glug.
like, shoot.
Shall I go out and get the breadsticks now, Courtney?
Go ahead and put the order in.
What?
Go ahead and put the order in. See, and here's the problem. This drink's so easy.
Easy?
It is very easy pour, an easy drink, man. It just slides right on down the gullet.
Let's see, Tori
think
says,
that's the problem.
which bourbon are you sneaking in your bags to Mexico? We're going to go to Booty Free and
Yeah, we're
get-
going to the duty free and see what they've got there. We might do a little haul video, see what we can find.
We are going to do a haul video tonight, by the way. Courtney and I and Maddie, we struck gold last weekend
Yes.
in Columbus, Georgia at the bottle shop.
Had a great time.
We're going to go through that a little bit later and found some really good stuff and had to pass on some stuff that we would have really enjoyed, I think.
Yeah, we ended up with
But-
5 bottles and said that was probably enough.
Well, some of that was Maddie's shit.
Well, she wanted some tequila, so you know.
I want a
hey.
marg. I like margs.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't think there's too many 21-year-olds like, let me get the nose on this bourbon. No.
Ryan said that baby is now 3 years old and a monster.
Most 3-year-olds are.
Courtney's in the child care business, so
Yes.
she knows how it goes. Canoeman says, I like to shop at the Booty Free shop.
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes you just kind of pop up on some. Like last year, we popped up on some father and son wild
Oh.
turkey that we never even knew existed.
Well, we also might have to take some videos. You know, they have some really cool stuff in there that you can't normally get, like the Toblerone that's like the size of this table. You know what I'm talking about.
That doesn't excite me in the least.
It does excite me. It excites. Oh, come on. Oh, and the lollipop that's like this big. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. It's like this big.
Chris, no, you don't. Why are you saying
He knows
that?
what I'm talking about. Because I'm always like, look at this huge lollipop. You can't even wrap your mouth around it. It's so big. So you just have to look at it because it's
sorry.
so big.
Shredwood's with us. Cheers, all.
Cheers.
Bourbon, and he's ready to rock out. At Booty Free, hopefully we find something good. So, Prohib style, I was sitting there running the show and I wasn't paying attention to my tasting notes here. On the nose,
My
I smell
tasting notes are delicious.
success.
No. I smell regret, so.
You know, it's just,
I smell Christmas trees that I fell into that year. Little pine on the nose.
that one tastes oaky. It tasted salty when I first tasted it.
I get oaky.
Medium hug.
It kind of reminds me of a salted caramel.
I can see that.
Like a dark, not dark chocolate, like milk chocolate.
Did you end up getting a pull of this, cousin? Or are you still drinking the other stuff?
I'm still drinking the other stuff.
Oh,
I'm
word,
good
yeah, that's
right
cool. That's all good.
But yeah, I get salted caramel on this, which is nice.
One of the things that I really like about these Old Foresters, this is part of their Whiskey Row series. I know a lot of you guys know that, but that comes with the 1897. I know by the
can't
colors.
remember.
They got a red one, a green one, a light blue one, a darker blue one, and then the 1910 Old Fine Whiskey is one of them.
That's
This is the
my fave.
1920, the Prohibition style. This is supposed to mimic the exact bourbon that they were selling during Prohibition, hence the Prohibition style.
Wow.
Old Forester was one of the very few distilleries that was still open at that time because they were doing medicinal whiskey
I love that.
to help women with their bad humors or whatever they used to call that stuff.
Well, it was, trust me, the men were getting their prescriptions as well. Yes.
1870 original batch.
Thank you, cousin.
Thank you.
The
Ever
1897 is the bottled and bond. I think someone mentioned that in the chat.
Yes,
earlier.
absolutely.
Yes.
I think that was Ravin that was having that.
That's good.
So yeah, those four you can find a lot, and they're delicious. I mean, I personally like 1910 and 1920 better. I think the red one's a little rough maybe. I don't.
Can we get B-Matt and Stoltz in here for Peach Marg night?
Yeah, well, no, hold on. We can make fun of B-Man a little bit because he's not a big drinker at all, but Stoltz drinks a fair amount of bourbon. He drinks it straight.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky. He's legit.
I haven't ever had, well,
Although he was
did
drinking
bring-
Elijah Craig and he didn't know it was called Elijah Craig, which is a little alarming, but it happens, you know. Brandon says he gets toasted marshmallow in the 1910, which I unfortunately do not have in front
I
of
don't
me.
get that.
Okay, so we were talking earlier. You got the
Oh, I
red
got the 20.
original batch, the green is the bottled and bond, and then you have the two blues, the Prohib style and the Old Fine Whiskey. Now, we were at a special tasting in May up at Old Forester Distillery, which Becky got us into. Very, very glad for Becky doing that. And in there, we got to taste some very special, limited quantity pours. And one of them was the 1910, what was it, super old fine whiskey? I forget what she called it.
Very, very,
Yeah, I think it
Very,
was
very
very,
fine.
fine whiskey.
Right, it was,
very old, like,
Old Fine Whiskey is essentially their double-barreled product.
Yes.
This was
Very
triple barreled,
old, very
Yes.
old fine whiskey.
This was-
Very, very old fine whiskey. Something like that.
double oaked. And,
It was
It was one of the
delicious.
117 series.
It was delicious because I love old fine whiskey.
I
That's
thought it
my
was too much.
favorite.
I was very excited to drink it, and I thought it was just too oaky.
That's my favorite of what we tasted there.
I just thought it
really
was
like
too
that.
oaky. Let's see, Lafe's gonna have to bounce. I love to y'all. I have to pop off and get all these dang kids to sleep. I'll catch you later.
Gotcha.
Leif, we love you, brother. Thank you for your
See
hanging on the
ya.
show.
Thanks
And,
for checking in.
Just for being out there and kicking ass like I know you are, dude. Lafe's a legend, 100%. And Ravin, again, reiterating his appreciation and respect for the 1897, the green.
Yes.
Old Forester. We like all four of those. Very easy to find, at least in the state of Alabama, which you don't say often. And they also have one that's called the Statesman, which we learned last time we were at Old Forester that they were making that as part of a promotion for a movie.
that
But
right? I
the
don't
formula
remember
was
that.
so delicious, they said, fuck it, we'll just keep making it.
I don't remember that discussion. I must have been enjoying another kind.
And our man, Johnny W., who's a good friend of the show, as part of our traveling flotilla, which will be taking off here soon, is a huge fan of the Statesman. I think it's his favorite overall bourbon.
He is a big fan of it. I am not, and it doesn't do much for me.
Sounds like you have
a
some bad
little-
humors.
It tastes a little alcohol-y to me. I know that sounds weird, but I don't know. It's too stringent, I guess. I don't know. Something
It's odd
about
because
it.
the
I don't.
proof's
I
not
don't
that
care
high,
about.
Courtney.
I know, but something doesn't work for me on the taste.
For those of us who like high proof bourbons, this Prohib style is probably the best way to enjoy a higher ABV product in the Old Forester line because it's 120 proof. Most of the stuff they have is lower than that, significantly lower than that, unless you go with one of these special black label or blue labels. Those are usually a little bit higher, but if you like the high alcohol content, Prohib style is probably your best
Yes.
choice with the Old Forester
I
stuff.
agree.
And again, very easy to find. I mean, I only had to go to 2 stores today, but the first one was shut down because of computer problems.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, they're having all kinds
Sounds
of issues.
delicious. So we're going to have to have this one.
He
I
mentioned,
don't even know what this is.
Brandon mentioned a chocolate raisin earlier, which was kind of like a salty caramel, but a little bit more of a chocolatey salt. That might be the right on the money right there.
Yeah, I still got like milk chocolate.
Kanuman says, smash that like button. I would. I'm in favor of that for
Favor
sure.
that.
Ryan S. says, Statesman is good, but I enjoy Prohibition, obviously Birthday Bourbon, a lot more. He likes Birthday Bourbon, Courtney.
I like birthday bourbon, but I will say, I wouldn't if it was reasonably priced. I don't think I would go to it first. I don't.
Okay, so if it was a $150
Yeah, I mean, like
bottle?
if I could pick that up at the ABC store for $60, $70, I don't think I'd go to it first.
It'll never go for $60.
No, it won't. I'm making a comparison to like this or Old Fine Whiskey or something like that. If they were equal parties on the store shelf, I wouldn't pick it up.
Okay.
I would pick up the Prohib style or Old Fine Whiskey.
Interesting.
Sorry.
I don't think I'd go that far, Chris. Birthday Bourbon's pretty good.
It is
Yeah.
very good, but I don't know.
This might be a good time
I
to
think
kind
it's
of
a lot of talk.
maybe we can query Chris here a little bit. Do you think there's going to be a day? Because there was a day not too long ago when Weller 12, Weller Full Proof was gettable on the shelf 10 years ago, maybe 12. Do you think the day will come when stuff like that becomes widely available again?
I believe so. I think everything goes in cycle, and bourbon is definitely at the top of the cycle right now. They've been hitting it big recently and had a nice long run, considering, the overall circumstances. I think, unfortunately, I think the pandemic probably helped assist with that. Everybody wanted to have their drink at home. And so I think that helped spurred some of what we see today. But at some point in time, it's got to turn. There will be something that will probably become a little bit more fashionable, like in the 80s, 90s, where rum was more fashionable. Maybe that's mainly because I was of that age. of in the 80s, 90s, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
tastes mature, I think obviously the whiskeys become more important.
Peter says he traded the last Old Forester birthday bourbon he had got through the allocation system here. It was a 2019. That's a good. That's a good one.
Hey, what did you trade it for? I'd love to know.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, share with us.
Brandon H says I remember buying birthday bourbon off the shelf in MB Mountain Brook about 10 years ago. I think it was $60. Okay, so there you go.
Wow. Do you still have it, or did you drink it?
I think he's a drinker. I mean, he drinks what he gets. He's the gentleman who very generously gave us the bottle of Booker's for the Bunker event last June. We need
It's delicious.
Are we doing another bourbon event or what?
Yeah, we need to do that. We have some time coming up in the next week when we'll be on vacation where we can have a little planning meeting and come up with some times and find some spaces that will allow us to come and participate in some bourbon.
Ryan says 1.2 billion Buffalo Trace distillery expansion will hopefully result in some higher supply at some point. They are going to put together another still, I think. And
yeah, the change in distributor will probably help with some of that as well too.
Yeah.
No doubt. This prohib style is affecting me a little bit.
Is it really?
I mean, it's just, yeah.
Do you need a breadstick already?
Yeah, let me do like Courtney and be like.
That's not fair. I literally had like 18 staff and 13 of them are like, yeah, I'll do a shot with you. And that we did shots out of my, the shot set that was my father's that he had at his wedding that had everybody's initials on it from his wedding.
That's pretty cool.
So I stood there and was just making Dad proud.
Yeah, he liked Old Forester, by the way.
Yes, he did.
All right, so I'm going to compare, again. Oh, by the way, Jason M., who we referenced
Yes.
earlier, said that he loves the 1870 and he thinks that's a great house bourbon. Like just to kind of,
Okay.
I think we use Wild Turkey 101 in that roll.
Old Forester 100 is a good.
I had some
That's
of
a
that
good
the other
one.
night at Chris's house, so that's a great one.
My daily drinker of this group, though, is Old Fine Whiskey.
A $56
Yes.
daily drinker? Okay.
Yes, that's fair because I don't really daily drink it. So I don't really drink every day, but when I drink, I'm game on. There's no slowing down this roll when I'm on it.
This single barrel strength, that hits you harder on the front end for sure than the Prohib style.
Yeah.
And again, I cannot escape the bananas on that one. I thought the other one was just
It's so
kind of.
strange. I don't get bananas.
I got oaky and cherry on the first one. I'm sorry, on the Prohib style, and I get just bananas and oaky
I just
on
get,
this one.
see the Prohib style, I get like super sweet at first. And I think that's why it goes it goes down so easily.
Peter said he traded that Old Forester birthday bourbon for a Four Roses 130th.
Wow.
We support that trade.
Nice.
We support that trade.
Wow.
So me and Courtney, cousin Becky, each got an Old Forester when we went to the distillery.
Mm-hmm.
I traded mine for a Blade & Bow 22, which I don't regret at all. Mm-hmm. And then y'all still have your 3.
I still have this one, but we also have an open one at the house that you gave me for my birthday
Yes.
2 years ago.
It's about half gone. We just sip it occasionally. Let's see. Blake R. says, I just saw the most Buffalo Trace on the shelf at one time I've ever seen. It doesn't help for you to... Yeah, anyway.
Where's your mouth?
He is in another part of the country, though. Blake is on the East Coast, so where he's at. That's good to hear the Buffalo Trace is getting out there. That's awesome.
Good. I'm interested to find out what it was costing, though, because it depends on the place how much they want to charge. Because sometimes it's like $26, $27, $28. Sometimes it's $35, and sometimes they're like, this is a $60 bottle right here.
Corey Dub says, I struggle to see Cuz, the rum guy. Everybody knows Cuz is the bourbon guy now.
That's right.
Let's see what else we got here. Aubrey T says, Evan Williams Bottle & Bond is a great daily drinker.
That's true.
Affordable and plenty. I got my hands
You
on
can
some Evan
find that.
Williams at Cousin's house the other day. I thought that was the regular Evan Williams, and you very quickly were like, no. That was stuff he had gotten at the distillery. A great distillery tour, by the way. I think we said that on the show before.
That was a lot of fun.
That was amazing. Kanuman loves the term daily drinker. It kind of affirms someone is an alcoholic if they're just talking about daily drinkers. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying
Thanks, Jay.
it tells you something. Let's see. Blake says $42 for the Buffalo Trace. I mean, that's a little high, but not like ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, good for them and getting some money on it. but not being incredibly rude about it.
I feel like Buffalo Trace in a perfect world is like 28, 30, something like that, maybe.
Agreed. That's
I think $30 is fair.
but 42 is decent.
You didn't do anything wrong there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not highway robbery.
There's a place in Auburn that sells it for $99.
No way.
I mean, good for them if they can get it.
Let's see. Stoop Up says I need a good shooting bourbon to help with this cold I got. Jeez, what would be a good a shooting bourbon? So what would make a good? What would make a good?
Something to make you go night night real quick. Because it'll knock out the cough.
Prohibition style.
Yes, it'll knock out it. This is easy to drink. It will knock out the cough, and you can go to sleep.
You know, my grandma and granddad, Tate, they did not drink very much at all. But if they got a cough, they had a big decanter of Jack Daniels, which is a terrible choice, but they could have put at least something decent in there. But they got a big decanter, and they would take a huge, I mean way bigger than what I'm drinking here. They'd put like 4 ounces in that bad boy and knock it back, and then...
Well, back in the day, they used to, when babies would cry and they were teething, they just put a little bit of bourbon in that bottle and let them go night-night.
Did you ever do that to Maddie?
No, I didn't do that to Maddie, but I know my father had it done to
She
him.
did. We got Maddie T in the chat. Yo, joining
Hey.
late. How's it going, mi familia?
Hola, Maddie.
Why was Maddie not here on time?
She has a lot going on.
She's
She actually, I think, was in a study session, so we should be quiet. Good job, Maddie.
Way to be, Maddie. Stoop Up says she runs childcare. Daily alcohol intake is just part of staying sane.
Thank you.
No
Appreciate it.
Let's see. Blake ended up getting the Four Roses small batch for $30. That is
okay.
very
I like
solid
that.
choice there. I like that.
Four Roses small batch is a great, daily drinker.
Every time that we had the Cuz's blind tastes in Destin, the Four Roses always scored really, really well.
Yes.
That is a underrated bourbon.
I would say that, in my opinion, a lot of the Old Forester and the Four Roses stuff are similar in nature in that they're easy to find, and I've never had anything bad from them. Everything is always a good value. I enjoy drinking it. Never had anything that I would consider bad.
Interesting.
Did you find something on the floor over there?
Well, it was Cuz's mic. No, it's all good. Everybody's doing good. Jake G's in the house. JG, an administrative assistant. There he is, Jake. What a stud.
Hey,
We
Jake.
love Jake G. And Maddie in the house, of course, as well. Had a study session in the library for 3 hours. Okay.
That sounds so much
Kanuman
fun.
did mention you before, Maddie. He said that he had missed you being here. And Stoop Up says, sure, Maddie.
Sure you were studying.
Yeah, I'm sure you were.
So, yes, the Prohib style. Are you okay? You're acting like you see an animal on the floor or something.
I'm just like, talking to your mic again, Cuz.
What's up?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Anyway.
I'm the idiot sitting here trying to run the audio. It's all my fault.
It
Ryan
seems
H says Old Forester spelled correctly / incorrectly, single barrel strength ain't easy to find, cousin. No, you're right, it ain't. This is named after a doctor who was Dr. Forrester with 2 R's.
That is correct.
So he's not wrong. But they ended up changing it to 1 R, and there's a reason, but I don't
I
remember
can't
what
recall exactly what that was. We had listened to that story, but I do not recall what it was.
it is. Love the Cats, a.k.a. Hornatius, is here, owner of a treep.
Hey, Horatius.
We had a very funny thread on the bunker today about odd things you've heard while you were having sex. And Hornatius said he had something funny. I forgot what it was, though. Well, Auburn GNC engineer started a thread, and he said the weirdest thing he'd ever heard someone say during sex was that the garlic bread was ready. And he said that surprisingly it made him finish.
Yeah, because he's like, I need to get that.
That's the stuff you see at auburnsports.com on the bunker. It's amazing.
That's what you can get for $10 a month.
It's the best message board ever. It's amazing. And Hornatius is a great member of that. So
But actually, if you subscribe here, it's free, and you can still...
We'll give you highlights.
I'll give you highlights.
Peter White, says FR Small Batch Select, could drink it every day. Four Roses, again, as I mentioned earlier, super underrated. Aubrey T says Rouse's in Slidell off I-10 typically had a nice bourbon selection that's on a regular grocery store aisle.
Oh, wow.
You just put it in your cart like picking up a bag of Cheetos.
See, I go to Slidell frequently. I usually go
Great.
about at least once a quarter, and then I need to pick it. I need to go hit up the Rouses.
Yeah, I'm saying game Rouses.
Yes, I'm gonna
Yeah.
find it.
Any Chappelle Show?
I'm gonna
fans
get
out
some Cheetos with my bourbon.
Okay, so I have to say I like the Blue Label better than the Prohib style, but they're both really good.
Oh, well, I like the Prohib better.
I know you do because you're not a banana eater.
No, I don't. There's only one reason I eat
Let me
bananas.
see that Black Label one.
And that's to
I've
get
seen you
my
do some things with
potassium.
bananas, though.
Whatever. No, potassium. That's the reason why.
Did you open this already?
I took the seal off of
Oh,
it.
thank you for doing that. That was great. You know, there's been times on my show
He can't get it open.
can't get the seal open.
You just can't manage to get the job done.
I have done a 6-hour show without peeing before, though, which is pretty amazing. If you
We're
want to
so
know my
proud.
opinion. Corey W says, "Who doesn't love garlic bread?"
That's true. That is-
GNC engineer obviously loves it quite a bit.
I mean, you know, but the funny thing is that, let me say this, no, you know, garlic bread, if you get it, usually when you put it in the oven, it only takes about 5 minutes. So I'm concerned about why in 5 minutes the garlic bread was done. So that means you had to have time to put it in the oven,
Does that mean he was
go
a
and
two-pump chump?
go and participate and said act.
Does it mean he's a two-pump
And then
chump?
it was ready. So,
Two-pump chump?
I mean, I'm just saying.
You've met this guy. He was at the Huntsville Bourbon event.
I'm just saying, I know how long it takes to make garlic bread, so
I said earlier I couldn't remember what Hornacious's weird thing he heard during sex was. He put it on here. I put a dent in the side of the Forerunner today. Somebody said that to him during sex today.
Oh.
Not today, I'm sorry, at some point.
that would kind of kill the buzz, wouldn't it?
I got called the wrong name one time. Not by her.
Let's move along.
I'm just joking, guys. I'm just joking.
Call the wrong name, please. What, instead of, oh, daddy, what was it? Fred?
I got called Trevor, and I'm not Trevor. And I knew who Trevor was.
Oh, creepy.
And then it ended up.
Anyway,
I'm not gonna
moving
go down that
along.
road.
It's only
Some
30
interesting
minutes
things.
in or 40 minutes in.
Raven says, "Who has singing the banana song now? Very efficient use of 5 minutes."
I mean,
Hey-o.
true.
All right.
Sometimes you only have 5 minutes, and so you just got to make things happen. Particularly those with young children.
I would have a hard time, 5 minutes. Did you say 5 hours?
Jay would have a hard time.
Okay, so I'm drinking the Black Label 100 proof.
I've not had that.
I'm still getting that cherry.
So I'm going to let you convince me that I need to try it because I want to pick this up again.
You're gonna like this better than the blue. I think you'll like that better.
Okay. You
Kentucky.
need to try what's in the white.
Yes, Cleveland Brown. If you're still here, bro.
Got to make sure and hydrate.
Corey
Gotta
said it's always
hydrate.
Trevor. I mean,
It's always Trevor.
I knew who Trevor was, and I was incorrect to worry about him because it ended up being a girl that I should have been worried about. I'm just leaving it at
Wait,
that.
Trevor was a girl?
No, I'm saying I thought that the problem was that she was coveting this other
okay.
guy. She was actually coveting another girl.
Well, anyway,
Sometimes-
that's a whole nother story.
Well, I know
That's
it is.
a whole nother
and
therapy session.
Sometimes you just kind of get the end around on that one.
I don't know that you should
Metaphorically
phrase it
speaking.
that way.
Metaphorically speaking.
Don't phrase it that way.
Blake says, "Damn it, Trevor! Damn you! Damn you!" That was a terrible idea.
I'm putting these away from you.
I'm not even we had dinner, but a delicious dinner, I might add.
Yes, we did have.
We
a
had
delicious
paprika
dinner.
chicken
We did.
with basmati rice and some carrots.
That's true.
It's delicious.
It was delicious.
Tori says,
Oh, I do like the nose on this.
Tori says, "I'm confused. Why Trevor?" I think that was a guy that. I'm not talking about Courtney. This has nothing to do with Courtney.
Yeah, some other girly bag.
Before I met Courtney, long time before I met Courtney.
If we were ever looking for a sponsor, we're screwed now.
I just want to.
Literally.
Hey, before we get going too far, I want to take a second to talk about our sponsor, Ashley Madison.
AshleyMadison.com. Or OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, please sponsor OnlyFans. OnlyFans.
That's right.
Anyway, Tori, we'll go into a little more detail on that next time. Melee says, "Very old Barton. I keep finding it cheap and never disappoints." This is in line with something Maddie brought up the other day. We ought to do a bottom shelf.
Yeah, that was a really
Showdown.
good idea. She had mentioned that. She's like, okay, and I like the idea that you have to go in and you have to pick up your favorite off the bottom shelf. Or what you think would be your favorite off the bottom
Well, it would be
shelf.
Evan Williams single barrel, right? That's on the bottom.
Not necessarily.
Well, maybe it would be.
Trying to think what
If
else
it was
would
on
be
the
down
bottom.
there.
No, very old Barton.
Old Granddad would be on there, like 114, probably be on
Old
the bottom,
Granddad,
and that's
114.
good. That's good. I would take that.
The Evan Williams stuff would probably be down there.
I also like the idea of going in and having $50 or $60, and you have to get what you want, and that's all you can get. It has to include tax. $60, and that's all you can get. You can choose one bottle, or you can choose 8 bottles if you want.
That's a good idea.
And that's we need to do a video like that.
Blake says grinder too, JG, LOL. I wasn't thinking about grinder, but maybe scissor.
Oh,
Considering
Yeah.
the topic of the conversation.
yeah,
really.
considering, yeah.
I don't know how I know that. Aubrey T says benchmark. I wasn't crazy about benchmark, but that would be a contender, I think, on the bottom aisle, yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, that's a good idea.
Yep. Some
So,
ideas for
Did you
future.
Did you get the
future
black
song.
label?
Yes.
Thoughts?
I said it had a good nose.
Whoa, you're getting real close in there, girl.
I got that big schnoz up in there.
By the way, while she's still thinking about that, this is from, we picked this up at the Frisky Whiskey, which is right over the border in whatever
proof
town,
is this?
whatever town that is. This is a 100 proof.
Oh, I
This
was
is
like,
from
yeah, it
Warehouse
had to be-
G, floor 3,
Okay.
from the Frisky Whiskey, West Point, Georgia. Now, Cuz is drinking was drinking a single barrel 100 proof from a different location, from Alabama ABC. And you were on Warehouse G, floor like 6, right?
Floor 7.
Floor 7. That might be the top.
I believe it is.
Well, I'd be
typically
willing to
7
pay
or
for
8.
that. I got screwed.
Not
I'm
necessarily.
not too worried about it.
So you
It
liked it.
depends on the season.
You liked
You
it.
can have a
didn't
very mild winter and it wouldn't matter.
you liked it, didn't you?
I do like this. This is
thought you
a
liked
good one. I mean, I knew it was not very high proof compared to some of this other that we've been drinking, but it's an easy drink.
Madison says, I feel like Old Granddad 114 is a little more than 20. Somebody must have mentioned that earlier.
I don't know how much it is, honestly.
And
It's less than 30. I'm pretty
Okay.
confident of that. So.
Okay.
we get a second mention of Slidell today. Ryan says Buffalo Trace and Slidell is literally close to $20.
Ooh, Ryan, you need to pick that up, and then you need to come and sell it someplace else.
Hey now. Buffalo Trace is a fine, just average bourbon.
But the thing is, you can sell if you picked it up for close to $20, then you could easily sell it for $40 someplace.
Yeah,
I mean, you're
yeah, no,
doubling
you
your
can.
money.
Yeah, I know, but it takes a lot of effort to get that done.
No, not if you got a case or 2 cases, 3 cases, or
my
whatever
man.
of it.
So Cuz is going to let me have a little slug of his Alabama ABC version. This is from the same. Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
okay.
Wow, thick pour there, buddy.
Good job, cuz. That's the way it needs
That's a
to
Courtney
be.
pour right there. Well,
That's the
we
way
should
it
call it a
needs to
Courtney
be.
Cuz pour. So oh, look at you. We have more. We have more.
Thank
glasses.
you. That looks like a J pour. Give me the real pour.
Here,
Oh, is
What?
that maybe insensitive?
this one's taller. I'm just kidding. All right, here it's fine.
I know. I'm just teasing you.
No,
Take it back. Take it back.
I'm running the show. You're not.
Oh,
Hey, if you want the mouse,
Because you're the man and you're the one in charge.
Aubrey T says bootlegging.
That's right.
Hey, leave a note here for Big Enos Burdett. That's what Smokey the Bandit's about.
Oh, okay.
Jason Morgan will love that. He's a Smokey and the Bandit fan. I mean, everybody's a Smokey and the Bandit fan. Anybody that's seen it. Ban 1. B-A-N. Keep your hands on the car. There could be a bunch of vagrants around here want to do something bad. All right, so I'm drinking Cuz's ABC version.
This is the one that's from the higher in the.
It is. It's
house.
from level 7.
Yes. Same warehouse? Mm-hmm. Same warehouse.
Warehouse
Same year,
G.
allegedly?
Approximately, yeah.
Okay.
This tastes lighter to me for some reason.
It smells, I get some floral stuff on it. Y'all get anything floral?
Yeah, there's
Like,
some floral notes to it.
I'm
Get
used
that.
to Old Forester being cherryish, and this doesn't necessarily taste super cherry to me.
I get,
No, it's not.
I get
overly
something like,
fruity.
Yeah,
It's a-
definitely floral.
balanced would be the word I would use for it.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Castle and Key.
Ooh,
The Castle and Key we had the other day.
this is good. I like that it has a good lingering taste on the palate. It's definitely not burning anywhere. It's very smooth, but it lingers. It's not. I can still taste it.
It's good. I like it. Blake R says, "Oh, and don't play with yourself on my highway." Another Buford T. Justice reference. Smokey the Bandit, the second biggest movie to come out.
Hey, Maddie says she got her roomie subscribed. Yay, Taylor!
Taylor.
Did we hit 250 now? Are we at 250?
Taylor lives downstairs, so she didn't actually live in the room with her. But we're glad to have her too.
Her roomie. It is her roommate.
It's her housemate or flatmate.
Jay. It's her roommate.
What?
They live in under the same roof.
Daddy. What did Junior say in that movie that was so funny? Courtney, I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I've seen it like once.
Daddy,
And then
they got
pieces.
through our roadblock. You some bitches couldn't close an umbrella. That was the second biggest movie of 1977, Smokey and the Bandit. Do you know what the number one movie from
That'd be
1977
a Star Wars thing.
It was Star Wars,
There you
absolutely. Good job.
I mean,
What a legend.
was that the first one? I don't know what year it came out.
Well, you could argue.
Well,
that's the
I'm
first
saying
one or the fourth one.
the first one that came out, like when Star Wars existed.
It was a very important one for Becky, though, because that's when she started the idea of cosplaying as Princess Leia, right?
Becky was like an infant.
At 1 year old.
That one, well, you know, it was a source of inspiration many years later. We don't know that, actually. That's never been confirmed. I can't believe you came from my loins. When I get home, I'm going to punch your mama in the mouth. Anyway, Peter White says, looking at my old Forester CS pick, it's warehouse level 1, level 8, 132, 134 proof.
proof. Ooh,
Warehouse
that's a
1.
liquid fire right
Let me see
there.
that blue one. Let me see that blue one. So
This
he's
is
got-
liquid. No, you want blue. This
Yeah,
is
blue.
Yeah, that's liquid fire. 134.
He's got warehouse 1. I got warehouse K. Maybe you mean like a letter. I don't know. I've got warehouse K floor 2. And this is 128.3. He got level 8. I'm so jealous, man. You guys are getting the higher picks. I'm going to refund this. I demand a refund. Let's see. Brandon says, Old Granddad 114. Listen to the specificity on this. $33 at ABC. He knows to the exact dollar.
Okay, so it wasn't 20
Close
bucks.
stuff.
That's true, but it would not. It may be on the second shelf. It may have made it from downstairs to upstairs, but it is definitely not higher than the second shelf.
I don't know that I love Old Granddad 114 the way that some people do.
There's one reason that you love Old Granddad 114. And my dad's funeral.
Yeah, I had some
Yeah.
shots with Joe
He had some
Shirek.
shots, yeah.
Joe Shirek did one of the most amazing man things I've ever seen in my life, but I'm not going to talk about that on the show. I'll get broken up about it. But.
No, he made some miracles happen with, Jay couldn't believe it. At the time, you were not necessarily downing 114 like you can now.
Right.
And he was like, gulp, gulp,
Yeah.
gulp, like 3 shots,
Here, let me
like
tell
to
a shot.
Rusty. Here we
Let me tell
go.
a shot. So it was me and Greg and this guy, Joe Shirek, who's a friend of yours. This is at her dad's
dad's best
wake.
friend.
At
dad's
her
best
dad's
friend.
wake. And I don't want to get upset and tore up
Shut
because
up,
I love your
Go
dad.
on.
But anyway, so Joe Shirek is this dude. Is he an actual Vietnam veteran or what?
No.
Well, he's a tough son of a bitch. He
is a
reminds me
tough
of Clint
son of a
Eastwood.
bitch. Yeah, yeah.
He goes, I want to have a shot in honor of Rusty. I go, well, I've got this old Forester, old Granddad 114. He said, pour it and make it strong. And I was like, yeah. So we poured Joe Shirek a pour about, half this Glencairn because I was fucking around, And he goes, to Rusty. And we all kind of tapped glasses. The motherfucker just hit it. One pour. Gone. Left. He was like, I'm
That was
done.
it?
That's all I needed to hear.
I mean, hey, if that's how I can cheers my
And
best friend on their last
told Greg, I said,
visit for him,
How big a dick does
that's
this
a
guy have?
legend.
What an absolute.
That is a real legend.
That guy's got a 14-incher dangling because the way that he
Please.
walked out of there was unbelievable. What an absolute
Anyway.
legend. Anyway, that's one of the most legendary things I've ever seen in my entire life. Joe Shirek.
He's still kicking it.
I can't believe that. I mean, death is scared of him. All right, so we've drank a lot of Old Forester here.
Yes.
Our favorites are, well, various. Cuz, what's your favorite thing you've had tonight?
So can we move along to our Maker's Mark event that we went to last Thursday?
Hell yeah, we can. So to preface this real quick, I did ask Cuz real quickly what was his favorite expression tonight.
I like the 100 proof single barrel.
Which one though, the higher or the middle?
The one that he has.
Both.
The answer
Great
was yes.
answer.
Yes.
Great
All right,
answer.
Great answer. I love it.
I love it too.
We had an opportunity. The three of us plus Miss Becky went to.
I'm showing how many viewers we have. Woo!
We
Not
went
quite
over-
dozens.
We went over to Opelika last week to Botanic, which is a really nice little
Beautiful.
restaurant, and it's like an event area. It's wonderful over there.
They called it the beer garden where we were.
I didn't see any beer.
It's called the beer
I
garden.
did see a garden though.
Yes.
And the point of this was, first of all, we
We
were
don't know the point of it, but
we were learning more about Maker's Mark and the whole Beam Suntory portfolio.
Yes.
We were also had an opportunity to taste 10 of the Alabama Barrel Trail picks from the last 2 years, and blind
can you
tasting.
name them all right now?
No,
Yes,
and
you can.
I mean it's like Hoover, Mountain Brook, Huntsville, Montgomery, Madison, Montgomery, Mobile, Auburn. Fuck, Demopolis. I'm just kidding. I don't know. There's some other ones. It wasn't
Well, we
anything
can see
crazy.
it in a minute because you have a picture of it.
I do have a picture somewhere. I don't know if I loaded it. But anyway, so we did blind taste testing. Let me go through some of these show and tells. Here, we'll go to a video right here. This is this is one of the tables. So there were 10 bottles that we got to see. At this particular table, there were 2 expressions per table, so there were 5 tables. This was at the end of the road, so this is number 10 and number 9. We started backward because we're the Tates and the Haynes. Well, it probably wasn't the Haynes' fault, but anyway. They give you a little shot of each one of them, and then you get, when you walk in, you're given a
token.
poker chip,
Yeah.
and you decide after you drink all 10 which one you want, which one you think is the best, I
Which
should
one
say.
you think is the best?
And then you see that little barrel on the right side there that says 10 on it, then you would put it in there if you like 10. It just so happened that we did like 10.
Yeah, 10 was my favorite too.
And we ended up putting our poker chips in that bad boy. But this is kind of what the tables look like. You've got your decanter. You got a second
your
decanter.
tasting girl in the background, like, I mean.
Yeah, the tasting girls were, here, we'll go back and check out the tasting girl. I wasn't really, I don't know, maybe some of the male viewers would be interested. She has an Apple Watch, it looks like. She was really nice. This girl was really, really nice.
She had a great personality.
She did have a great personality. So then this is actually fast forward to the next day. We're at the Alabama ABC
Yes. So into
in East
ABC.
Chase.
And now we can see all of the ones that we tasted. So
There we go. Homewood, Mountain Brook, Fairhope, Madison right there on the
Fairhope, we
front
forgot
row.
about.
Yeah, we forgot about. How could we forget about Fairhope?
You got,
We've got Huntsville, Mobile, Montgomery.
Did I jack that up? I think
No,
I
you
did.
didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I did.
And then we've got Tuscaloosa, Auburn, Hoover, and Hoover.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So at our East Chase store near us, they had all of them for sale. But when we were at the tasting event, we got to taste all 10.
And number 10 was
And here's the actual photo. I'm doing the Ken Burns effect on that just to show you guys. All that beautiful
I love
brown
it.
water. Cuz picked up a Tuscaloosa and I forgot what the other one was you picked up, Cuz.
Huntsville.
Huntsville, yeah, that's right.
No.
Hold on. This is Tina. I took 3 pictures of Tina, and they all had her eyes closed. I'm sorry, Tina. She was the essentially the brand ambassador, or she's technically called a diplomat, who was there to teach us about Maker's Mark. She works for Beam Suntory. We also met Chad, who is a fellow diplomat in the Beam Suntory world, and that guy, what a stud he is, man. He reminded me of the situation, honestly. From, he was doing gym tan laundry. Here's another one of those tables at night. I was trying to take a night photo. And you notice all the little sips are gone. Everybody's been drunk as shit. Been drinking that all night. There's some nice flowers. I thought Courtney would appreciate me taking a picture
That's
of the
what
pretty
you do
flowers.
with your empty bottles.
So, no spoiler alerts here, but somebody won this showdown.
And it was Montgomery.
It was number 10. It was the Montgomery that we
And
actually were
excited.
part of the
yeah,
pick
we were part
group
of the
on that.
pick of picking this barrel. And it's right here. It's delicious. It's a great pour. And you can pick it up at your ABC store if you're so lucky.
Possibly. They have some in Montgomery
Yes.
still. We
It's
bought a
very
whole,
good.
We bought a whole case of this.
Yeah, we
Syllabus.
bought a case of this.
And we gave one to the Hayneses, but we still drank a bunch too.
Yes, we still drank a bunch. We gave some to somebody. Yeah,
I think we got,
giving some away.
I think we got two and a
Anyway.
half left.
Yes,
Whatever.
it's very good.
I bought it back up.
It's very
Attaboy. Hey,
emergency use.
I feel like this is a W for the taste though, because we played a role. We picked this. I mean, we were at
We
the
picked
picking
this,
event
and then
today.
we didn't know because, of course, it was blind at this other event. And I was like, that tastes really good and it tastes familiar.
Yeah, it tastes familiar.
And so I was like, I'm putting my token in that one.
So we put our token in that boy,
Yes.
and it won in a landslide, I think. So.
And I can't remember which one. There was one of them that didn't get any tokens that night. I can't remember what it was. Wish I did. It was number 3, whatever 3 was. But anyway.
Let's just say it was Huntsville, because Madison would definitely have people. I'm an honorary part of the Madison Mafia,
Yes.
so we're all good. So Maker's Mark, Mickey Howell, who made it possible for
Yes.
us and the Haynes to come to that. What an absolute stud! I saw him today at Taste
Nice.
in down where we live, and so stoked. That guy's
He is a stud.
is he a legend?
A legend.
Yeah, he is. We love
Legend
Mickey.
for sure.
And we love Maker's Mark too. Maker's
Yes.
Mark is a very high
Exactly.
quality product.
We
There's
just
no doubt
talked about it
that.
2 weeks ago. It's delicious.
All right, so now we're gonna do our haul video for the week.
Yes. I'm very excited about this. We had a great time.
We need to. I'm going to break this out as a separate video. So real quick, let me just kind of do like a little thing. Okay, you guys ready? Let me get our video thing queued. Whoa, wrong one, guys. Let me get our video thing queued up here.
Look at that.
All right,
So,
you ready?
I'm
Here we
ready.
go. 3, 2. Hey guys, welcome to another haul video here. We had an opportunity, Courtney and I did, along with our daughter Maddie, to go to the bottle shop in Columbus, Georgia, last weekend on a beautiful sunny day. It was rainy here today, but
Yes.
it's beautiful there at Columbus. And the bottle shop, what a great place. We knew it was a great place to go. We didn't know how great it was until we got there.
Yes.
Courtney said I had to take video of this display for the Wilderness
Definitely.
Trail. This was their store pick that they had. We bought one because Cuz is a big, big fan of Wilderness Trail. We're not sure how we feel about Wilderness Trail, not for reasons that Cuz would know, but because Wilderness Trail is in Danville, Kentucky,
Correct.
home of the Center College Colonels,
Yes.
and we do not like Center College as Transylvania University graduates.
That is
So,
true.
However, I will say begrudgingly that Wilderness Trail is delicious bourbon.
I loved this display, and I just have to say it was obviously put together by a woman. That's all I have to say. Look at that line. Look at that line right there of bourbon.
Men couldn't do that?
Well, let's just say attention to detail and getting the bourbon out may not necessarily be that. But I also love that they have their merch up front. They're like, hey, y'all can get this, but you got to pick up one of our Yetis over
Yeah,
here.
that's smart. It is smart. I got to give you that.
Yep, it's very smart.
So we definitely picked up one of those. The first thing I took a check out here was their Maker's Mark Private
Yes.
Select.
Probably should have picked up one of those, but
No, I think we probably had them bettered.
oh, you talking about the Montgomery pick?
Yeah, I feel like our picks have been really good, but I would never ever question. And by the way, what was the price on that? I think I had it there at the bottom. I missed it because our camera was in the way. $74 probably. $79 for that.
79. Okay,
Hey, if it's good enough,
I know.
you
Hey,
know what I'm saying? It's worth it.
take it.
All right, now we're going to get into the meat of the.
This row of bourbon was impressive.
Yeah, now you claim to not know anything about the weeded Woodford Reserve.
I do not remember ever having weeded Woodford Reserve. I just don't remember that.
Like
So-
the actual weeded one, Chris.
Yes.
Which Chris has had it.
It was part of our tasting.
Was it?
Yes.
Did I like? I must not have liked it because I would probably recall that then.
It was there were 3 wheated whiskeys that was part of our tasting that we tried, and it was good. I don't think any of the 3 that night stood out compared to some of the other stuff we had.
Yeah,
Okay.
agree. You could see they're asking $32.99, $33, I guess, for the weeded. That weeded I thought was really sour on the end. I didn't love it. That's the red one specifically you were talking about. Also, the malt whiskey there in the blue. Cuz definitely not a fan of the malted Woodford. We'll put it that way. Double oaked Woodford Reserve to me is pretty good. $55.
That's good.
I think it's on par with some of this Old Forester stuff we've been drinking.
I think
tonight.
also that's one that you could have on your bar and give to somebody that comes in as a guest. They would be impressed with something like that as
Yeah.
a guest.
For sure, it's tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Just some regular Maker's Mark stuff here. Nothing too bad. Nothing really standing out to me here. Wild Turkey 101, obviously. We're kind of going down a little bit, checking out some of that bottom level stuff. We'll move up to the top a little bit here. Gentleman Jag, nothing real crazy here. Bullet, pretty much standard fare. You'll see this in pretty much every store. I assure you, we do have some pretty cool stuff we came across here.
I love the big bottle of the 1792 small batch, though.
Yeah,
Up on
it's a
the top
good looking
shelf.
bottle.
Yeah, it's really cool. The
good-looking
large
bottle.
bottle's really neat.
There's the Four Roses bourbon that I think that our friend Corey drinks right there. $40 for
good.
for a handle. That's
take
pretty.
that.
It's delicious bourbon, honestly,
I'll
at
take
that
that.
price. Now we're starting to get into some of the tasty stuff here. Knob Creek 9, which you see a lot of places. 58 for some of that for the big Elijah Craig. Old Tub at $25.99 might be a little bit high.
I mean, come on, it's Old Tub. You can go ahead and split out a couple more dollars.
Smoke Wagon, which is from Las Vegas. We have not had Smoke
I've
Wagon.
not had that.
And I'm not sure. I don't like the name.
My problem is I'm a
like
Kentucky bourbon snob, so I tend to not lean towards things from other states.
All right. There are some things that we will accept, though. All right, Garrison Brothers. This is a very well-known Texas
Yes.
bourbon. We had some at the Leverett's daughter's wedding, which
We were in Texas, so that's acceptable.
yeah, for sure, and it was tasty.
Yes.
I have no problem with Garrison Brothers. I would probably try that yellow, the honey barrel, but
I don't think I'm going to be paying that price, though.
the thing I was really looking at here, first of all, was the Foursquare, which we had on the show last week, which is delicious.
It's really good.
But
170,
Chris,
that's
I
a
think
little high for
Chris
me.
picked that up for us at the distillery. Was it that expensive?
It was in the ballpark.
Okay. It's a really good bourbon, but I'm not sure I would do that again at 170.
Yeah.
'Cause we get a lot of stuff at 170, you know what I'm saying?
I'd probably pick up 2 bottles of something I really liked for that.
And I see that the Garrison Brothers is 200. Wow.
I mean, look, they've got a big award on it. So maybe I need to try that.
Trying to get a feel for exactly which one that is. Here are,
Oh, here comes Jay's favorite.
yeah, this is my area right here. This is the barrel stuff. I've never had a bottle of barrel that I didn't think was really good. The Infinite Barrel is one that Chris has at his house, and I have enjoyed the absolute hell out of that thing. $60 is what they're asking for this. Wow, it would be tough for me to figure out a whiskey that would be a tastier bottle than it's $60 than that one. But wow, you've got the Seagrass, the Dovetail, the Armida, which I referenced earlier in our show, and then the Vantage, and then the New Year. We've had all of these in the last 6 months, and they are all really, really good.
I mean,
The Armida, Brandon mentioned earlier, it's kind of like a cordial almost. It's made out of pear casks.
well, I like that. I mean, they're all the same price, basically. I mean, that you know what you're going to pay when you go in.
I love it. We got Barrel Vantage out of the allocation the other day when Becky got
Okay.
it for us.
There's one I see right here that you can tell I have no interest in.
I know
Like,
exactly
zero
what it is.
interest
I know
in.
exactly what it is. That's Jefferson's
It's
Reserve. right?
No, the Jefferson's Ocean. Because they like to say, oh, we put it on these barrels and it flings around in the ocean. You get the salt and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a fan. Don't care to drink that.
Yeah, I think
Pass
it's,
on that.
it's
I think
really,
that
really
I think
soft.
it's overrated, and I definitely would not pay $89 for it.
$64 for just regular Jefferson's. I don't think the bottle shop's really high on this. I'm not criticizing the bottle shop. I'm criticizing Jefferson's. That's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Jefferson's
want to say
is,
something on that, Chris?
Jefferson's is fine. It's just that ocean, the aged at sea. No, thank you. No, thank you.
The Jeffersons, I think, is for people who like lower proofs, like under 100, that they're very solid picks for them. They're good at that range. If you like stuff that's a little heavier proof, like at the 100 range or the 110 range or higher, you're probably going to be disappointed with Jeffersons.
Good stuff.
I think I got all worked up like, oh, this whole aged at sea, and I was bought into the marketing, and it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, we got a cask strength version of that, and I thought it was solid, but the cask strength is even more expensive.
I did like their version with it was in a wine barrel of some sort. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it
but
was the
very
Pritchard
good.
Hill
That was
finish.
very good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, you drank that on a blind
That was really
at
good.
Justin's House of Bourbon. And
That was
yeah,
really
you
good.
really like that one.
Yes.
But that's not what we're talking about
Yeah.
here. Moving over to some rye, which sometimes we're not great about.
I would really like to try some Blue Run, but I don't know what to try there. That's what I'm.
I know, we got a
that's
little
what
overwhelmed.
I'm hoping for because there's so many options with it. I don't know, and I know I'm not going to go straight in on a rye because that's not for me. But I don't know much about that. I would like to try something of that.
Cuz and I were confronted with several blue runs in Destin, and we just weren't sure what to do with them. Like, there were too many.
Oh, now here comes
We're still over here on the, you like the peg
Peg
leg
leg
porker.
porker.
It's a great name.
I love that. That's awesome. That's
Great
a nice
name, but
name.
$110.
Look at him. He does have a peg leg.
Yeah, he does.
That's awesome. I might buy. Well, I'm not buying it for $110 for that, but
$110.
if he was $50, I would have gotten him.
Bunch of whistle pigs, obviously. Your 12-year, your 10-year, your farm stock.
You gotta talk me into whistle pig. That's just not a fave.
I like whistle pig as a gift. I do. I just don't like.
Don't pay for it. I got you.
I don't like drinking it. And rare breed rye, it's not my thing. I love rare breed, but
I get
piggyback
some
rye, which we had at
all
our
these
bourbon event in
ryes.
Montgomery. Peerless rye, which we love Peerless. Back over to the actual bourbons. A couple interesting things here. There's the Kings. We were talking about that earlier on the show.
Yes.
Chris and I had some of the Kings that was given us by our friend Hunter. This is not the exact one here that's toasted, but it's interesting to see that out there anyway. The Stillwater Rye is a beautiful bottle, Courtney. You mentioned this to me when we were in the store. You're like, what an absolutely awesome bottle this was.
That is really
but
cool.
We just weren't sure. We're not really rye fans to start
I'm
off
not the
with.
biggest rye fan, so I can't really go on what that would be. I love rye in a cocktail, but when it's mixed in a cocktail, I can't tell you what kind of rye it is. So I am not the person to ask on that.
There's some of the Laws, which is definitely not from Kentucky. I think it's fair to say. Pin hooks. These are the rye pin hooks, by the way. I know that silver one is a 7-year straight, so I don't think that's necessarily rye, but we'll see. We're still over in the rye. Stellum, which I learned recently, is actually a product of Barrel.
Oh,
Barrel
Okay.
kind of saw those as less experimental, more like everyday bourbons. So I should have picked some of those up.
there's your Castle and Key restoration.
Yes, Restoration Castle and Key for sure. We were at Castle and Key like a month ago, and those were the only things they
Options.
had. Yeah,
Correct. I did not know that Bardstown had a rye, so I'm gonna.
yeah. Because I don't. Did you know that they had an origin rye? I did not know that.
Yes, they've got their origins. There's 3: the black label, which is a wheated bourbon; the white label, which is a regular bourbon; and then their rye.
Yeah.
That was part of the barrel thieving tour. We got a taste of
okay.
their rye, and it surprised me. I kind of like you. I'm not a big fan of the ryes, but this was
It's a good one. Huh?
it was very good.
Okay.
Chris and
I don't
Becky.
doubt it from Bardstown.
Chris and Becky thieved it out of the barrel. They literally stole it.
Yes.
No, not really.
Yes.
And as an old school Bardstown Bourbon Company fan, the
Old
green.
school, because they've been around so long.
The green reminds me of the early on discoveries.
Oh,
Discovery
true.
1 and 2 were green
A
labeled.
little
so
darker than that, but yeah.
Thanks, Courtney. Appreciate that. All right, we're back in the land of Jay and Courtney here.
Yes.
Some Wilderness Trail, which Chris has, I think, all of these. At $70, not too bad. Unfortunately, me and Courtney had to do some.
We had to decide. So I did appreciate this bottle right here on the right. I cannot remember what it was. Next to the
Kings County?
Yes, I was like, I like that they did not do any sort of. They're like, we're just going to go straight in. We're not going to do some fancy label. We're just going to look like a pharmacy bottle from back in the day. They
And
look
that
like
is
back in the
exactly-
Prohibition times. Like, this is what you would get on your pharmacy shelf. I love it.
By the way, you and I were kind of dismissive of the ryes in general, but Brandon, who knows the stuff, he's here in the chat with us, says the Wilderness Trail rye is amazing. So
Really? Okay.
this Kings County small batch peated bourbon, like this sounds like something I would not like. Peated bourbon.
Peated probably kind of turned me off when I saw that, but
That's
I love the bottle and the lack of of fanciness.
There's the Murray Hill that Brandon was talking about drinking earlier
sorry,
today.
not a fan.
Yeah, not a fan either. It says Joseph Magnus on that. It is not Joseph Magnus. I mean, it is a product of them, but I think of regular Magnus being a lot better. St. Cloud we've seen a few times. Just never really got enough of a feel to be willing to put down
I wasn't going
$150
to put
on it.
150 on that.
That's a lot.
That's the same I felt about these. I cannot remember the name of it, but I was like, you know what? This is a really cool label. Tell me about this.
Yeah, 15-year right there for $300. But I mean, we're just kind of working class people. I can't drop 300 unless it's like we really.
I mean,
know
you
we're
got to
getting.
know what you're getting for 300, right? Now they had 3 Kentucky Owls. That was kind of nice. I don't think you ever really see that on a typical shelf. They may have it behind the counter. They may have it behind the glass or something like that. But you know, I was surprised.
Yeah. Cuz has a St. Patrick's Day version of that, a green label,
Ah, nice.
which we had the other night. And I mean, I'm not trying to put anything down, but I thought it was solid. But I don't know. I don't think Chris would necessarily buy that again. And the regular their annual release is 300, and then the confiscated is 130, and then the Takumi version, which again, I read some reviews on the Takumi, and they were like, it's okay. If you're really into Japanese whiskey, that might be more up your alley, I guess. But at 150, I mean, it's got to be pretty good, in my opinion. The Calumets, we've had several different versions of the Calumets, and we thought they were just kind of solid.
Well, I do miss the old original Calumet bottle that they used to have, the rounded one.
Yeah, it
that
was like wider.
Yeah, it was. And I'm sure that this is a much cheaper way to bottle it, but I miss that part.
Yeah. And also, Calumet Farm, to most people, doesn't mean anything, but to us, that was a great racing
Horse farm back
horse
in the day
farm,
in Kentucky.
which was very close to where my grandparents lived, maybe a mile away. And it went dormant for a long time. It's back now. And
You actually have a belt that's made of Calumet.
that is
Yes,
true.
I need a pointed a belt for him that has the whole farm on it.
And there's the I.W. Harper that
Yes.
you love that decanter so much.
It's right here. We have it here.
Somewhere.
Yep,
It's
it's right
right
here
there.
over my shoulder. Yep.
I.W. Harper. I thought the bourbon was just so-so, but
I agree, but I love the decanter. It reminds me of 1970s and my grandma's house.
now this is one, the Short Barrel Founders Reserve. You had actually really thought about picking up this bottle.
Yes. I did.
15-year-old, cool bottle, made
And
in
it's-
Georgia.
Well, and it's also, I was like, barrel proof, it's going to be kind of tasty, I think. But once again, $200, I'm not really interested in coughing out $200 for something I don't know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
So,
Brandon says
Had
it's
to pass
funny
on
how these
that.
brands start to drop off when they stop sourcing 15-year juice from MGP and start making their own.
that is true.
That's
That
another
is
one.
true.
Short Barrel is another example of
Yeah.
that.
There's some Nulu. You ended up getting a Nulu, though.
I did. I got the
Okay,
Nulu
this
Port
is
Barrel
another
finish.
one that interested me, was
Yeah.
the Lone Whisker.
Lone Whisker.
yes.
At $215.
It didn't interest me at the price point, but it interested me because I've never seen it sitting on a shelf before. Not that it's something I've ever searched for, but I am always looking for something that I can't typically find other places. And you know, this was something different.
Yeah, we ended up passing on that one, but really it was just kind of like the money.
There's my Thomas S. Moore's. I love those. Oh, delicious.
Yeah, they're underrated. $75
Delicious.
is just. I wish they were like $55, but
I think they're delicious. I'd pay $75 every day.
they're good. Uncle Nearest is one that you and I have tasted, but we didn't necessarily love.
Wasn't wild about it. This was the other one I was thinking about.
I'm intrigued that
SB House.
the Southern Collective at $96 is gone. Like that got sold out.
I
I'm
don't know anything
intrigued.
about
I'm
that.
intrigued. Maybe I'm missing something on that one. I don't know much about that one.
SB House, I did go and look at that, and I was tempted, but it is, I believe, from Virginia. I kind of passed on that. There's my old fine whiskey.
There's the ones that we had tonight. We had the Prohibition style tonight on our show. We, of course, are huge champions of the 1910 Old Fine Whiskey.
Yes.
And then 1897 and 1870 are both good as well. The Red Line. I really, really thought about getting this Red Line.
Really? I did
You had
not
the
know
orange
that.
curacao, you had the maple syrup, which I wasn't necessarily crazy about, but the Elements one I was probably going to pick up. Did end up doing it. I believe this is a company out of Missouri. Obviously, they're using sourced stuff. It's a father and a son that kind of got in and did this. And I just wasn't sure enough to go $62. I don't know, man. Like, if I was to go back now, I'd probably hit it because I picked up the ones I really had to have.
So this is the blue run I probably need to try right there, right? That just straight up bourbon.
Yeah.
That's probably what I need to try. And these others over here on the right, isn't that Mattingly?
Yeah, it is. It's exactly
The
what
ones
it
that
is.
look like that basically I drew the label on.
Yeah, it's kind of their thing.
I think that's kind of cool.
I had the Sunday morning in my hand at one point, and one of the guys that works there was like, "This is really good. It's MGP, but it's really good." And I don't know, $115.
You know, if I'm going to pay over $100, I kind of got to know what I'm getting.
That kind of leads me to a question. So
Yes, sir.
on these Bourbon Hall videos, if you see these different price points, at what price point would you have to try it before you buy it?
To me, when it hits 3 digits, I got to kind of know what I'm getting into. If it's early 3 digits, like 109, I'd probably be like, okay, let's just try this. But you're pushing 150 and higher, I just have a hard time justifying getting it, because if I taste it and it tastes like Murray Hill Club, I'm going to be really upset.
Yes, Murray Hill Club is the one that got us, I think.
Yes.
Here's some other ones. Penelope, the Architect, which I had in my hand at one time. It was the only one left, and I ended up leaving it. Rosé cask finish and also toasted. We are new converts to Penelope.
Yes.
It's really good. Milam and Green, we actually researched this
We
there.
talked about this today, but that the one that you said I should try is the most expensive one there, correct?
Yeah, the red label there was $150. That is an interesting distillery. I read a little bit about it before we went. The top 3 people at that distillery are women, which I know would
Gotta be
appeal to you.
geniuses.
And you thought very seriously about taking one of those home,
I
but
did.
we ended up passing just because, again, $150, as you just mentioned,
Yeah.
Courtney. It's a little high.
So what's your price point there, Jay?
100, yeah. If it's one I don't know anything about, probably 75.
And I have a hard time reading reviews online about what people think about it, because a lot of times my palate doesn't agree with what they've said.
Yeah.
So
There's the Heaven Hill Bottle and Bond.
that's a delicious thing to take. We should have taken one of those.
We probably should have taken one
Yeah,
of those.
we did not.
We passed on that at the distillery as well.
Yeah.
It
Well, the
happens.
good thing is we can always send our 21-year-old daughter to go get it for us.
Oh,
if
she would
we
love
need
to do it. She'd be overjoyed. The Penelope Barrel Strength, we actually bought 2 of these a couple weeks ago. One for us. I think we left one at Cuz's house because I just thought that he and Becky needed that.
It's good.
It is really good. It's approximately $70. That's a really good value, I think. Anything else? I don't see
I
any
don't
other
know much
nuggets
about any
here.
of that
Really
other
getting
stuff.
yeah, Watershed, not exciting me too much. Back up to the Milam and Green. Little Journeyman down there from Michigan, which is actually pretty good.
There's a fave for me. We just passed right past it. Y'all know what it is. Those that know me, it's the Blade and Bow.
Yes, Blade and Bow,
Love
what are they
that.
asking? 49.
That's fair.
$50. Yeah, that's
I
fair.
mean, normally you pay 45 around here for
As
it.
you guys know, she's
Take
kin.
49.
She is kin to the Stitzels.
I mean, yes.
Your grandma was a
and what
Stitzel.
broke as a joke, but yeah.
And that Russell's Reserve single barrel at $60. It's about as good
Yeah,
as you can
That's
get.
a good one.
About as good as you can get at $60, in my opinion. Going through, we got some more Bardstown. This is Willet stuff here.
Yes.
The old
That's just a
Bardstown.
whole thing right there.
Yeah, that's just like a whole Willet spot there. Pure Kentucky, Johnny Drum,
One
Kentucky
I will not
Vintage.
purchase. I can see it right now.
Yeah, Rowan's Creek is
Rounds
ass.
Creek, not a fan. I'm not a fan of
$42.
Noah's Mill either. I like Pure Kentucky. Johnny Drum is okay. Kentucky Vintage is good for me. What else we got here?
Pure Kentucky's not bad.
And that's what I said.
Yeah. But these other
Old
ones.
Bardstown. Now my favorite is Old Bardstown Bottle and Bond, but you can only get that in Kentucky,
Or nearby. We never see it
right?
here.
So if you're talking about cheap, that's a cheapie, and that would literally be my daily drink if I lived in Kentucky.
My guess is that this old Bardstown, this 24 right there,
Probably very similar.
it's probably similar. It's the
Yeah.
same price point, and it looks like it's the same bottle.
Just doesn't have these same.
Hey, Jay put his
stipulations.
finger in there. That was great.
That's okay.
There's the Healing Station right there, which is a Tennessee bourbon, which we have a black label version of that, which we really, really like. I would definitely buy that again. Don't know about these specific expressions right here.
I don't know much
but,
about that. I don't know about the one with the hand on it.
Yeah,
What is
it's
that?
called Digits. I don't know anything about that one.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. 5 Trail. Again, $80, a little bit high for me for something that I don't know a lot about. Going back into this a little bit, I do see that Old Soul. If I had seen this Old Soul at the very top of your screen here in the blue with the golden writing, I absolutely would have picked that. I saw this when I was putting the video together, and I said, "Damn it, how did I miss that?"
That's made of our
That is an amazing, amazing pour. Also, Pursuit United up there as well. You
Yeah,
can't really
that's
see
a
that
good
very
one.
well in the video, but and then some Michters there, just the usual Michters, small batch, American, and then the sour. A little bit of Bardstown here. We got the Founders, which Cuz has. That Discovery there, I believe, was Discovery 6.
6, yeah.
Which I thought seriously about snatching. You don't see 6 out here very much. 8,
True.
8 and 9 is what you usually see. Fusion, I'm not really interested in either. It's just not something I'm going to be doing. Fiddler is from
Fiddler's the
Atlanta.
Atlanta one. Yeah, we went to that distillery. The girls did.
Little Old Elk.
See, here are the fakers. Look at that fake candle right
Looks
there.
just like Birthday Bourbon, doesn't
If Old Forester wanted to sue somebody over a bottle, that would be it right there.
Now this Clyde Mays that you see here in like the golden/wooden sticker,
Caster?
they're
Okay.
asking 160 for that. It's a 13 year, I believe. It is tasty. I've had it at Justin's place, but again, 160 bucks. It's just
That's
like
a lot.
that's a lot. I had some of the red label stuff, which is $67 at Justin's place, and it was good. I think for that you'd be better off going Russell's Reserve or something like that. Old Elk, which is something that Cuz likes a lot, or at least Cuz has some of, out of Colorado.
Yes, the higher proof wheated bourbons have been really good.
Word. Courtney said, "Hey, you got to take video of this. This you don't see the guy, but there's a guy out here, and he's usually sitting in this trailer. He's doing fresh boiled peanuts right in front of the place.
I love it.
So, yeah, I like that. It's kind of a different thing." And Courtney said, "Hey, they don't have a drive-through, but they do have curbside."
They do have curbside, so you can pull right on up and get what you need without getting out of your car, I mean, it is not drive-through, but it works.
I'd also say that the folks at the bottle shop were incredibly friendly.
Very,
And we
very
always
friendly.
ask for permission to video before we start videoing, and they were like, "Absolutely,
Yeah.
have at it.
Have a good time.
We love it." So the bottle
A lot
shop
of good choices there.
in Columbus, Georgia, a place that we
But
ended
you
up.
know what? We did not share what we got there.
Well, please do.
I got Redemption Rum Cask Finish. I saw that and I was like, you know what? I'm getting me some of that. That was my pick. I limited myself to one bottle. Maddie got some Jose Cuervo.
Yeah, some of that. Let's see. I got a Nulu
Yes. It's finished and something I want to
port
try.
cask finish.
Yeah, I want to try that. That sounds delicious.
What else did I get there? I've forgotten now, but I was happy with it.
yeah.
Oh, I got Castle and Key,
Oh, yeah.
which
Castle
we ended
Key.
up drinking over at Cousin's house
hard
the
to
other
find.
night. Yeah, it's like the Michelob Ultra bourbon, but it's good though.
It's a cool bottle. It's a great place to visit.
Anyway, bottle shop, Columbus, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it. Thank you all for letting us come.
And you
Visit.
definitely check them out if you have a chance, because
Yes.
if you're over, like if you're in Alabama, I mean, they have a selection that's so
Yes.
far above anything we would see in our
Yes.
state.
And reasonably priced. Nothing was outlandish.
All right, the next thing I wanted to work on was the mock pick. Cuz, I don't want to get too deep into the story here, but Cuz's mother-in-law won the allocation up in Huntsville. She's going to be part of the quarterly allocation up in Huntsville. We also have a bunker member who's going to be part of that allocation group in Huntsville. And so
As well.
his name is Maston34 on the bunker. And he said, "Hey, man, why don't we pretend like, you're me and I'm you, and you're about to go in line for the quarterly allocation and tell me what I need to pick up." And Cuz has already done this for his mother-in-law, but I thought we would just kind of try to do it here and figure out what we could do. So this is what we're looking at. For those of you who are not from the state of Alabama, this is kind of what an allocation looks like on a quarterly basis. You get allegedly one pick from A, one pick from B, right, Cuz?
Correct.
So we were kind of playing the game of where are you at in line. If you're going to be the number one pick, you're definitely going to take the Blanton's Gold. We were estimating, Cuz, maybe one case, so 6 at most, 6 Blanton's Golds.
Yeah, it has varied from location. In some cases, while a case may be 6 bottles, they may only have 2 at that location. We've also seen instances where it's on the list but isn't actually there whenever you get there.
Yeah,
So,
that happened last year
Yes.
with the allocation, the main allocation.
Wait a second. I want to stop you right now. We need to read what Luke did this weekend.
Oh, Luke said, had a good weekend hunting E.H. Taylor and Bland's for close enough to MSRP. First time, as I'm just getting into this, and it was very exciting. I wonder where
That
he
would
was.
be fun. Share with us where you were, because that's fun.
Also, Brandon said Clyde Mays is flavored. You knew that?
Clyde Mays is MGP.
Oh, well, he's saying it's flavored.
Yeah, well,
It's not even bourbon. You can't flavor it. It can't be bourbon. It's
Yes,
flavored.
you can.
No.
You can finish it.
it's Alabama style.
Thank you.
So that means it came out of the Alabama River.
Luke, you don't have to say what store you were at, bro, but I'm just kind of curious as
Yeah,
to
that's
where
pretty
you
cool.
were at.
Like what general area? Sorry, I just thought that was interesting.
Brandon H. says Blanton's Gold and E.H. Taylor Rye are no-brainers. I mean, he says outside of Memphis. Outstanding. All right, cool. Maybe I'll get with you privately and we'll talk about that.
For me, I would pick the Stag here.
As your
That
A
would be
pick,
me.
huh?
Yeah, it'd be my A.
Well, we do have a Blanton's Gold. We have co-custody of it with cousin Becky.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I found it to be just, solid. It's very similar to Blanton's. I mean, it's Blanton's. I mean,
It's very good.
if I were going to rank these, I would say for me, Blanton's Gold 1, Stag 2, E.H. Taylor 3, Blanton's 4, E.H. Taylor Straight Rye. Weller
Well, we
Antique
do have
doesn't
to
do
say
anything for
the
me.
Blanton's single barrel there is a little deceiving, right?
It's just Blanton's.
It's
yeah.
Blanton's. So, I mean, yes, it's good and you can't find that on a shelf every day. But it's not single barrel as other folks portray their single barrels to be.
Right.
It's just Blanton's.
Everything about Blanton's is single barrel. That was the first single barrel. You also, in the B group, you have the Eagle Rare, single barrel, which is Eagle Rare. E.H. Taylor small batch, Jack Daniel's 10, which we're definitely not going to be picking. Bowman single barrel, which is really weird that it's even allocated. Old Ezra, I bought that for $30 a bottle like 2 years ago. I don't understand how.
I would take the Bowman, even though it's something that shouldn't be allocated. I would take that off that table.
Oh, you'd take E.H. Taylor small batch, wouldn't you?
Probably, but
Eagle Rare doesn't get you as excited.
no,
maybe as
Eagle
some others.
Eagle Rare's good, but I'm not overwhelmed with it as others are. It doesn't make me gain angel's wings. And
Honestly, I'm not over impressed with anything on table B.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't really get
You
me
know,
excited.
the E.H. Taylor small batch is the only thing on that I would definitely buy if it was available. But
I do like, it's not on there. It's a normal thing you can typically find, but I do like the Bowman port finish.
Port barrel finish, yeah.
That is really good.
that's one of your
that is a
favorites.
really good one.
Not sure how I feel about it. I don't hate it.
It's a favorite of a not expensive, not daily drink, because I keep describing them as daily drinks, but it's one that you can easily have, and it's something that a newbie could drink and could actually probably enjoy neat.
Doug T is back from the bunker. Says, evening, everyone. Happy National Bourbon Day.
That's right, we're celebrating in
My man.
style.
Absolutely. And he also invited us to a Mobile bourbon event,
Excellent.
which we are
Excellent.
definitely going to be doing. Call Me Biscuit says, so Alabama allocates Eagle Rare. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yes, you're right.
Exactly.
I know. We can. Cousin and I
Wait.
go over to Atlanta fairly often, and we can hit Eagle Rare on the
Somebody's
shelf.
back in here. I guess the kids are in bed.
Who's back? Ravin? What did he say? Did he say?
Well, he said he had to put the kids to bed, remember?
Oh, is that what he said?
Well, I guess they should be asleep at 9:30.
Ravin
Welcome.
says Eagle Rare should not be allocated, but it's damn good.
It is. I mean, it's good. I think it's a little.
I would take
overrated.
that just to give it away as a gift because people outside of here love it,
Yes.
Because, for instance,
Lose their marbles over.
Henry, our intern, Chris, you might remember him. He came to our party dressed in sweatpants. We sent his mom had said she couldn't get anything in Texas, so we sent her a bottle of Blanton's. And you'd have thought we sent her like a gold bar from Fort Knox. I mean, she was fired up. And Dark Web, if she's watching, you're welcome, obviously. Courtney, she was, yeah.
She was very.
We were glad to help, but they live in Texas, by the way.
Buffalo Trace products in general, all of them are, I find, to be solid bourbons. I enjoy them, but they're so hyped, and they're difficult to find that Eagle Rare is one of those that I really enjoy it whenever I have a chance to drink it. But if any bar or any ABC store or any liquor store in general, you can go in there and find something equivalent to it pretty easily. So
I agree with you.
Ravin says, I believe Leif was putting the kids to bed. Yeah, I didn't think Ravin was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that was
I
Leif.
apologize.
There he is.
I had it wrong.
I got
Perhaps a little too much pro.
I got a couple more photos I wanted to share. I had a pork chop the other day. Look at that bad boy, yo.
Yeah, another pork chop.
Me and Chris worked on a pork chop 2 weeks ago that I was not able to finish it.
And then Jay was like, I need to go back in.
I'm not going to quit this time. And so I was able to finish it, but I regret finishing it. That was too much. That's the cowboy butter there that comes with it. And then the potatoes with the pimento cheese is what that is on top. Not sure how I feel about the potatoes, but that pork chop, guys, it looks amazing and it tasted amazing. And Chris has had one too. He's a fan.
Yes. So Jay was my handyman this week. Why don't you show them what you did? I'm so proud of him.
I'm not much of a handyman, really. But,
No, we use his brain for most things. So
our microwave failed recently.
Yes.
Our house is only
5 years old.
5 years old, and our microwave failed. So I went and bought the exact same microwave, and then I put it in myself.
he did a very good job.
Was-
It is, as you all can see, it's not just like putting it on the countertop. He had to actually put it in. And my favorite, though, of this picture is that you didn't crop out the laundry sitting on top of the counter. That's my favorite piece. Thanks, Jay.
I wish that you had folded it.
Oh,
Anyway, I realized the microwave
I'm
says.
sorry. I'm sorry. You don't have two hands?
I realized the microwave says 12 on it. It actually had the right numbers on it. It just, for whatever reason, when I took the picture, it just showed two numbers. But
Yeah.
I was very happy to get this thing out, man. It took some effort, and I yelled a few times, but ultimately, it went right back in. And we use this a lot because we cook at home a lot.
We do. And it was funny because everything was working on the keypad except start.
And that's a part of
I
the
mean,
problem.
that's kind of a major issue. So,
That's like saying, I love everything about her except she has no tits.
wait, what?
And then you're
Wait,
like,
what?
well,
That wasn't where we were going with that.
Maddie says, why
Drink
didn't
some more water.
Maddie says, why didn't you fold it?
Thank you, Madison. That's my kid.
Ravin says, way to put it in. Hey now.
He did. He slid it right in, put the screws right to it.
Oh,
Got it
put the-
handled.
Were there any other photos that we could show? Oh yeah.
I
there
hope
are.
it's not that.
There's one. Oh wow.
Why do we have to keep going back to this photo? It's not nice. No noise.
Melee says you were too busy making JGT a sandwich to fold the laundry. He knows. He's joking. He knows who you are. Right?
That's exactly right.
I mean, he knows that you're.
I was making him a sandwich.
He knows you're not a sandwich.
It's not a
maker.
sandwich, it's a sandwich.
Maddie says our laundry room is like 6 inches from that counter. LOL. Yeah.
Yeah, and he could have folded them when he got them out of there, but instead, he wanted to put them on top of the counter.
Guys, to be fair, like
And then he documents it and puts it on the interwebs.
sheets are tough to hold by yourself, and blankets and stuff. You know.
Yeah, he couldn't have asked for it. Or he couldn't have taken the picture and then, like, edited it to take that out.
Yeah, I mean, I probably could have done that.
You
but-
probably could have
but
done
I
that.
didn't.
I mean, it was really classy.
I mean, it happens sometimes. Anyway, that pork chop, wow. I'm still thinking about that pork chop a little bit. Anything, what's going on in the chat over here, Courtney?
I don't know. We usually hit something about some
I love
sort
that,
of.
I love that Melee said you were too busy making a sandwich. That's funny. She
Usually
loves it.
we hit up something about fast food or amazing.
Oh, I know another photo I have on
Eateries.
here. Courtney, I'm going to show
I
you.
don't know. Oh, what's the other photo?
I'm going to pull the photo up here, and I'm
I'm
going to see
frightened.
if I'm going to see if you even know what it is when I show
Why
it.
do
Are
we
you
have to
ready?
show that one again?
Ready? What is that? Do you know what that is? It's something that happened 11 years ago.
For us?
Well, for me, not for you.
Oh, yes, I do know this. That's when the coughing water heater was in
Yes.
the attic from Desmonte.
Yes, 11
Yes.
years ago, this asshole murdered some Auburn football players and another guy, and then he fled to Montgomery. And so they thought he was in this house, and the police came out. I was covering this as a reporter for the Montgomery Advertiser, and I was as close to the house as I could get. And they said they thought he was in there because they were getting human sounds from the attic. Turned out to be a fucking water heater.
A coughing water heater because they said they could hear him cough.
So that's a picture of what it looked like when they were chasing
Yes.
down the coughing water heater.
And that is when you did get a lot more Twitter followers, though.
Yeah, I got a lot. I'm not making light of what happened there. That guy's a fucking dick, and
Yeah,
he's a
and
murderer, and he's in life without parole
That's where he deserves to be.
for killing. I knew Eddie Christian pretty good. Back in those days, reporters could know the guys, and he was a really good dude. And I just senselessly killed that guy. Killed 3 people. What an absolute douche. But the coughing water heater still kind of makes me laugh.
Well, the best part was that they like tore up this woman's house, and then they're like, "Nope, sorry, we ain't fixing it."
They're
She's like, "Oh, yes, you are."
She goes, there wasn't anything here. Like, you just tore up my house for
Wasn't anybody here?
nothing.
And you like dug out like big, huge pieces of my ceiling.
Ultimately, it took years. It took 3 years, actually, but ultimately they did get it straightened out. Let's see, Maddie said they had helicopters circling with the thermal monitors, and they said they saw a person in the attic. It was just a water heater, LMAO. The cop came out to us and the reporters that were there, and they were like, it's making human sounds. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, that could be anything.
I mean, a water heater's a significant size too. Anyway, yes, that was an interesting night in your life.
I've known a girl that looked like a water heater, kind of.
Melee said the pork chop turned out great to be microwaved. It does look really good to be microwaved.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I mean, serseriously, yo, this pork chop is amazing.
Pork chop.
Look at that.
Jay, what setting would you put it on for that?
Popcorn.
3.5 ounces of popcorn.
Yo, I had my first pork chop, like actual pork chop, in the last
2 months.
Yeah, 2 or 3 months. Ever. I'm 51 years old, and I just never thought about eating a pork chop in my family. It wasn't something we did. It wasn't my parents said, don't ever eat a pork chop. It was just like we never had them.
And I will say, normally in our household, we eat pork tenderloin instead of a pork chop. So, but anyway.
Wow, that thing looked really good. And you put it on the popcorn setting, 10 minutes
There
later,
you
you're
go.
fucking good.
That was it. Bone in and all.
A grilled pork chop is right there with a steak. It's good stuff.
Really?
You agree?
I believe so.
Absolutely. I mean, Chris knows how to cook. On a grill, I don't know shit about it. I don't even
Chris is a
I don't
grill
even own a
master.
grill. I don't own a grill. That's the honest truth.
We do not own a grill at this time. That is
Because we don't have enough, like literally our backyard is so small.
Our
I can't put
backyard
it.
is a postage
Chris's
stamp.
backyard's like 5 times bigger than mine.
Well, we added a garage, which was critical. But anyway.
Let's see, Madison said I never had a pork chop until last week. Well, Maddie, you're only 21.
No, she's saying she had some of your pork chop.
I know, and
That
she
is
said,
true.
she said, that's fucking good. I go, I know.
I
It is.
know.
I'd put it in my mouth. Raven says you need to tackle a pork shank, Jay. Delicious.
Pork
Wow.
shank.
Cuz, can you make a pork shank happen?
I'm sure we can.
There we go.
There you go.
Raven sounds like he's
Game
a man
on.
who knows how to do that.
Ben needs to come to Montgomery and
Well,
have
Raven
some-
does come to Montgomery sometimes, and
I
we're going
know.
to definitely get up with him next time
time
he
to
comes.
have
Hopefully
an
he's going to
event.
bring his wife with him, because she's an absolute legend as well. A ledge, as we call it now. What does this say?
I'm writing notes. You pay attention and do your thing.
So
Don't
Jay,
talk about
if,
Trevor.
I am the administrative assistant.
Why do you
I
care
need
about
to take
Trevor?
notes.
so
No.
Jay, if the Prohibition style bourbon were an '80s song, what would it be?
Well, let's, Chris, you know.
Don't ask me. You know better than to ask me.
Chris, I hadn't had time to really think about this because I wasn't expecting you to ask me that.
Bullshit.
No, I'm
Bull.
serious. So it's a little bit hot, a little bit musty,
Musty.
but it still tastes good
If you're
going
talking
down.
about musty, it's got to be something to do with.
So my alternate question for that would have been, if the Prohibition style were an SEC football team, what would it be? And I think that one's pretty obvious for me.
Mississippi State.
No, I wasn't going there, same division, but a little south of there.
LSU.
LSU, yeah. LSU's Prohibition style.
Musty?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like,
LSU,
Chris
that's
is an
good.
Alabama graduate, to be fair. A lot of Alabama fans are not
Well,
graduates, couldn't even get in.
Am I correct that as of next year, Auburn is not playing LSU? Right.
That is right, for the first time
So
since you and
that's-
I, before we were dating.
Right. And also Mississippi State or any of the Mississippis.
I know, this is
No
gonna be the first time.
Mississippi eyes.
Not that Chris cares, but this is the first time Auburn hadn't played Mississippi State since '54. Like, wow.
Interesting schedules.
Yeah, for sure. Melee says Trevor and JGT had an undetermined relationship years ago. Let it go, chat. No, it wasn't. That is not how it went. I don't want to get into it. It had nothing to do with Courtney, though.
Oh, listen to this. This is a question that Becky would love from Kanuman. It says, scroll back up.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, wrong way. Wrong
Oh,
way.
wrong way, wrong way, wrong way.
It says, has anyone had the pork chop at
Perry's.
Yes, Perry's.
I
We
want
need
to
to
know
go try it out. Who wants to go to Perry's and have a pork chop?
if Hornatius is still in the
Hands
I'm
up.
on board.
Hornatius is a big fan of Perry's.
Okay, well, maybe we need to have an event at
Hornatius
Perry's.
made an outlandish claim about Perry's on our board, and they actually pursued it.
Oh, I do recall.
Yeah. It was so ridiculous as to not even be like,
I do recall. So he can't attend.
and they like literally
Maybe
chased
everybody
him
else
down.
can.
They're like, who? I want to know who Hornatius is. And I was like, I'm not telling you that. I'm not legally obligated to tell you who anybody is. Corey says, we had the thin pork chops my mom overcooked when I was a kid. We used them the next day to sandpaper the walls. That, in the rare cases where I've seen a pork chop before, they've been really
That is
thin.
exactly what I'm talking about a pork chop. They're like this big, and these days I think you can get them at the Dollar Tree. There's silence. You can also get sirloin at the Dollar Tree. Don't hurt yourself. I am serious.
That almost came out my nose. Right there.
They do sell it.
I don't shop the Dollar Tree for my meats.
I do not either.
Well, Courtney goes there a lot.
I go to the Dollar Tree for very simple things. Cards. You need to go there for any kind of cards you need to get. Because, I mean, Hallmark is a ripoff. Well, we don't even have a Hallmark anymore in Montgomery, but what are you doing to that bottle?
I'm thinking about the question that Chris asked me.
Well, come on. I mean,
If this
you've
was
had
an
enough
80s
time.
song, what song would it be? So it's musty. It's good. It's classic.
Ooh, musty.
You know what I'm thinking? You know what song I'm thinking
Good,
of?
and I don't know about.
I know exactly what fucking song this is. You ready? You Got It by Roy Orbison. Came out in 1989. Everything you want, you got it.
Why is that musty?
Because he's old as fuck. He died that year. But Roy Orbison is a Hall of Famer. He is an absolute stud. He has a beautiful voice. This is a beautiful tasting bourbon. So there you go. You Got It by Roy Orbison. He's from Odessa, Texas, by the way. Daniel P. in the house. What's up, man? That is Metal Fan 25 from the bunker. He's a... wait, what do you... He's one of our legends. First of all, in the bunker, obviously, and on the brain drain as well. So glad to have you there. Melee says thin chops need to be fried. You need thick ones to grill. Corey W says look away, Chicago. That's an interesting choice though.
No.
Because Chicago is musty.
I don't want to look away. I want to put some more in my glass. Well, I can't do that yet.
Blake says here goes the 80s part, Corey. Oh baby, yeah, that was a good time. 9:45.
You said musty.
Yeah, I mean, it's just oaky and kind of old tasting. I don't know.
If I think of musty, I think of a certain female artist who looks like she's from the 60s and dances and swings around and all her, and she's...
Tina Turner.
No, not Tina Turner.
Bette Midler.
No, not Bette Midler. She's part of a band.
Chrissy Hynde from The Pretenders.
No. This one is still high as a kite this day. Like, she's still currently high.
Madonna.
If you're talking about musty and 80s, the only thing I think of is Fleetwood Mac.
Fleetwood Mac. Oh, wow.
That's what I think of a musty.
How dare you shit on Stevie Nicks that way?
I think, I'm
She's
sorry, I
amazing.
think she's amazing, but if I think of musty 80s, that's her.
She, yeah.
Sorry. I mean, am I wrong? Am I
No.
wrong on this one? I mean, there's a lot I'm wrong on the 80s music.
So you're going to say like Gypsy or Hold Me for this song right here?
I'm not saying that. You described it as musty. I do not get musty from it. I get delicious and drunk.
My second choice is going to be Working for the Weekend by Loverboy.
Why?
Because those guys were surprisingly old for what they were trying to look like. That guy well, anyway. Mike Love from Loverboy. He was older, way older than he seemed. It was a little bit creepy. Maddie says, wow, Courtney, you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. She was just...
Ryan H. also correctly noted that Roy Orbison was part of the Traveling Wilburys.
Yes.
That's correct.
Who
We heard that.
wasn't?
I heard that. Can you name
Like
any?
everybody else was.
Can you name anybody else?
You need to just be quiet over there in your little quiet corner, because I'm.
Cuz, can you name anybody else who's part of the Traveling Wilburys? Because I can.
Okay, go ahead,
But-
Jen.
Tom Petty,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
George Harrison,
Well, he's dead.
Jeff Lynne from ELO.
Who?
Yes.
Okay.
And Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan. That's the Traveling Wilburys right there. Bob Dylan, you may have heard of him.
I guarantee they all got pissed off at each other, right? And that one of them
Everybody must get stoned. That's my Bob Dylan right there.
laughed. He sound like it.
Raven says the weather here just turned intense. Strong thunderstorm coming through. Wind gust up to 80 miles an hour. We definitely had a wind gust, Raven, that was approaching 80 miles an hour earlier. So stay safe in there, bro.
Madison, are you experiencing bad weather in the Mobiles?
Did I say? I said Jeff Lynne, right? Yeah. Oh, Doug is just going through the Traveling Wilburys. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Ryan knew it was Tom Petty was in there. Of course.
Now that gone too soon. Rip.
We heard Traveling Wilburys song today.
We didn't.
When we were at Nukes today. Down the line.
I don't hear music in restaurants. I can't.
End of the
answer that for
Line.
you.
We heard End of the Line, which is a great song by Traveling Wilburys. Everybody thinks Handle Me With Care is the number
They
one
had
song.
music playing today in there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was so taken with your
It's
beauty,
so-
I had a hard time hearing it.
No,
but
you obviously had no problem hearing it because you can name the artist and what you heard.
Doug says it was
I
the
didn't even
greatest-
know music was playing because I was in awe of this.
Of the prostitutes?
That's what it was. No, really, I was balls deep in that pizza.
All right, listen, we were able to get Chris here under the pretense that we would get the fuck out of here when it was time for us to bounce. So I think we're about at the time where we're about to bounce. And we're doing this out of respect to Raven, who's facing nasty thunderstorms, him and his wife.
Everybody.
Whose name I will not say.
Well, we
but
probably all
it
should go
it
home.
starts with a K or a C. I'll put it that far. I just know it by phonetically. Yeah. Let's see. Maddie says she's down in Mobile. She says, not surprisingly, it's just humid AF per usual. She says, you looked at the radar and it's supposed to be nasty in Montgomery in the morning, which you
Yes,
said.
I did say that.
Maybe you should close the center.
That's true. Well, I'm trying to work that system today, no Mark. But
Okay.
anyway,
Anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure hanging out. Let's see. Melee says, wasn't Chris Christopherson in the Wilburys? Fuck no. That guy.
Chris Christopher.
Get out of here, man. No. Call Me Biscuit says, where are you located tonight? A bourbon blend, same room as Brain Drain with different backdrop. Interesting
No.
question.
It
So
was a
we are at a
different locale.
yeah, we're at a different location completely. We're in Montgomery. We're at my mom's house.
I'm in my mom's house.
So my mom's in a nursing home, so she's not using this house, and so we built this set in the upstairs. She's got like a landing here in her house in the upstairs. She couldn't come upstairs if she wanted to. Like she can't come upstairs.
No.
So this is like completely open, and we were like, "Fuck it, let's just do a show up there." And so,
worked out
and it's
perfectly.
got a lot of space. So, cuz maybe someday your wife Becky will come hang out. She hasn't been here lately, so I'm thinking that she doesn't want to be part of the show. But is that Chris? Is that fair?
I anticipated to see her in the chat at some point, but we have been disappointed so far this evening.
Oh, she left us high and dry.
I have been disappointed personally.
know.
I can't speak for you. Or
I'm
you,
going to
but-
ask what kind of friend she is.
Ryan H says more Bob Dylan cover songs from JG preferred.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I just heard that one the other day. We talked about everybody must get stoned.
Can you please sing it? Because, you know.
Everybody must get stoned. Do you love your Bobby? I love your Bobby.
Jay looks like somebody from Sesame Street when he's doing that. Yep.
All right, guys. So here's the deal. No show next week. We're going to be in Mexico.
We hope to maybe do something from there, but I will tell you, I am not interested in submitting things over the internebs from there.
Yeah, it's unreliable.
Not only is it unreliable, but perhaps it's not the safest thing to do on your computer.
And we were going to have Chris do the show, but Chris is actually going with us, so he will also be in Mexico. And all of the other friends that I would have asked to do the show are all going to be with us in Mexico. So I think we're going to have, in total, 10 to 12 couples with us, right?
No.
Including Pipe and Daphne and Jordan and Clint and all of them. Yeah, I'm pretty fired up. So
There's a lot of people who'll be here. And then we do need to do some sort of bourbon event in the KY as we're going to move forward with this. Anyway, I have notes here
All right.
on what we're going to be doing because
Why
I
does
need
it
to
say
plan some
Trevor?
things out.
It says ask about Trevor.
It does not say ask about Trevor.
Okay, what does it say? Mont.
I've got this handled.
Oh,
Thank you all for
honey,
joining
Trevor.
us.
There wasn't a thing about you, Trevor.
Thank you all for joining us. We are all going to drink bourbon together. Right. Say it, Jay.
Bourbon together.
Bourbon together.
Together.
You have to have hesitation.
Hesitation.
Because there's a period in the middle of
I
it.
never hesitate, Courtney.
Yes, he does.
All right, so guys, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Until then, love you guys. Let's make great decisions. We will enjoy Mexico in your stead, unless you're going to be there, and then we'd love to hang out. Chris,
Cheers,
that
y'all.
goes for you, Chris. All right, guys, peace and love.
Cheers.
Thank y'all for being part of the show for real. See you guys in a couple
Appreciate
weeks.
it.
Peace.